We're live.
Hi!
Hello, everybody.
Evening, everybody, and welcome back here to Chasing Tales.
Excited to play
Oh,
D&D.
damn.
It's been a whole week since we were here. Guys, are you ready to play some D&D?
I'm so excited!
Hell yeah.
This
Oh god, guys, we've had a hydrate redeemed from town. Straight
He's
up.
got that hydrate in.
Jesus, we've got the chat going. Thank you, Polaray, for the prime. We've got a level 2 hype train already. Thank you, Hina.
You guys are the fucking best.
Hina for gifting a sub to Amelia. That's great. We've not even done anything. Will says I will. Wilbo in the chat says I will have validation even if I have to pay for it.
you do have to pay.
We love you.
You are validated now, so good job.
We love you.
Thank you, Will, for the 100 bits. Oh my god.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Jordan, you have disadvantage.
I have disadvantage as the crew as well.
Jordan, you bet. Guys, we've not even done anything.
It's a good thing that nothing can happen imminently that might make disadvantage be a problem.
That's fine.
Hi, everyone.
Standing next to my big furry friend.
Hi.
Aside from drowning in positivity,
What the fuck?
I'm excited. This is the first time we've got all 5 of you together this year.
Yay!
Rather than having work and other stuff to pull us apart and have people being botted by other players, we have everyone here together, and I miss you guys.
By other players, you mean me.
Yes, Marigold has been in the pilot seat for a lot of this, but we are.
I will
guys.
play all the spellcasters in this party if it kills me.
No, God. No, we miss you too, Andrew. We miss you too.
You know.
So, a couple things coming into this. Jordan, we've been lacking a sorcerer for a while. Does in the Twitch rewards bit still have a Wild Magic Surge option?
It does, because I did not have access to
forgetting
Twitch
to change
beforehand.
that.
I think
Leave that
through my
there.
computer. Oh?
Leave it there. Let me know if it gets redeemed.
Just very quick. Amelia has redeemed advantage to me, and Will has redeemed advantage for you, Andrew.
Oh my!
I don't. Will, what are you doing?
Okay. Will, Riona, could you relay his answer? Is this advantage for anything or against the players? Because there's a difference.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, Will, what's your role?
Either is valid.
Thank you, Tofu, for the prime.
Nice, Tom.
What the fuck?
Alex has got advantage from Tal as well.
Hey.
Make sure you
We
guys
got
are
a lot of
noting this stuff
shipbuilding
down.
on.
I'm not.
Will says specifically against the players.
Fuck you, Will.
Fuck you, Will. David, you've just redeemed advantage for yourself.
That's against the rules. That's against the rules.
Wait, Jordan, just give us all advantage. You're on the cheese and Ghelfi. Just give us all advantage. Go.
Right, okay. Before we spend just too much time gushing, because we will spend hours doing that.
We will.
We will.
Welcome back, everyone. It seems like there's so many of you in the chat, so thank you for coming. Thank you for being here to join in our wonderful little D&D game. If you are brand new, welcome. We're Chasing Tales. We play D&D on Thursdays. We have other shows on Mondays, and we'll get to plugs and everything else we do later on. But for now,
need to hydrate.
okay, keep it going.
While you talk,
The more you do this, the more likely it is that one of us will have to disappear to pee. If it's one of the players, that's kind of fine. If it's me, you're all going to be waiting.
That's fine too.
Yeah, so we are.
Andrew has to hold it.
I do have to hold it for ages. So, before we get into the game itself and that kind of stuff, a couple orders of business. First up, a thank you to our friends of the show, the Cognitive Merchant. They've been our friends for a while. They're lovely people, and they make great things. If you like leather dice bags, dice trays, dice cups, LARP gear, armor, cool wizard hats, any of that stuff in leather or vegan leather, then go check out thecognitive.co.uk and find all their links to their Etsy's, to all that kind of stuff, and go support them because they're lovely and make great stuff. A second thing that I would like to say is we, for the first time, are going to be trying out using Sword Coast Soundscape's wonderful sound ambience music-y bits to have some actual like atmospheric ambience in the back of this stream, and they have very graciously given us permission to use those things. So if you like the sound of using those both in your own games, in your own streams, in all this kind of stuff, go check out Sword Coast Soundscapes. That's sword, one word, coast, one word, soundscapes, one word, on YouTube, on Twitter, on all that kind of stuff. And check out a really, really, really amazing collection of both soundscapes, kind of ambient music, both for generic taverns and stuff, and also a whole load of playlists specifically inspired by different book adventures, from everything from Dragon Heist to Curse of Strahd, Tomb of Annihilation.
The Curse of Strahd one is fucking great, guys. It's so good.
I'm so surprised you like it, Megan. I'm just, wow.
It's very
I used it for my game.
I'm
Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, can't
vampire-related content.
Meg
Everyone
liking Curse of Strahd. Meg
feel
liking
like
Curse
that's
of
weird.
Strahd.
Everyone who's ever played a Curse of Strahd game with me knows about that woodland ambient soundtrack and the wolves that come in halfway through. Everyone knows.
Yeah, looking out.
Yeah.
So good.
That's also, I guess, Jordan, whenever you turn up Rhythmbot on your Discord, everyone else will hear it.
Yes. That's the point.
Cool.
Everyone on stream, if the music is either too loud or too low, just bop it in the Twitch chat. I'll keep an eye on it, and I will edit those levels to make it nice.
How are the levels?
How are
new
the
categories?
levels?
Well, we're level 12 right now, David.
That's true.
Bang.
To be fair, a valid question and an answer which, to be honest, is not the most useless thing. Yeah, if you are new, this is a D&D game with level 12.
Hey.
Hold on.
Oh, Prue says music is low but voices are fine.
Music
Also,
is fine.
also, I'm gonna just take this time now to say thank you for the hype train. That was amazing. We got for like the 5 subs and like 300 odd bits in the hype train. That was great.
Hell
You
yeah.
guys,
Makes me emotional.
Hell
we've
yeah.
done
You
like
guys are
fucking,
insane.
we've done
You guys are
fucking
insane.
nothing. Like
Wow.
We just sat here talking shit.
Like over 100 hours.
That's what we do
Interesting.
best, Megan. That's what
yeah,
we do best.
but you know.
Yeah.
Right
So,
now we're not
everyone
doing
who's
anything.
throwing out the support, we see you, we love you, thank you so much. This year we're gonna keep getting into this stuff and producing more stuff, and it's coming out to you guys. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I've finally got my dice out.
Dice.
Okay.
Later on, I feel like I need
Just
to have.
one set, Jordan, not
I feel like I
200.
need to have like a selection of these on a Twitter poll to say which, and the viewers can choose which ones I use for the night. That's a thing to look at later. That's
The one that roll bad. The one that roll bad.
Message in the chat before we start from Prue. We have an exciting thing coming up. Is it this Monday? I don't know. This Sunday. Our Cyberpunk Red game is starting.
Oh my
It
god.
is.
Indeed.
Oh my god.
We've got who is part of it? Are
So,
you Jordan?
if you want to
You're in
see
it. Prue.
myself, Prue, Tom, who is a Tofu in the chat, and also
Tofu.
a 4th mystery person called Connie, who you may not have seen before, play a Cyberpunk Red game ran by our lovely friend Jack, who has guested on the show before. Tune in on Sunday at 5 p.m. and watch us do some wild tech shit, probably stealing things, because
Hell yeah.
it's just kind of
Tech
happens.
shit, TM.
And just watch Jordan just be just a
A
You
little
can meet
shit.
my wonderful, beautiful boy Bobbert Hoot.
no. I hate you. I hate you for creating that character. I hate you for the creating. Like Prue told me about it, and I was just like, "It's Jordan, right? Yeah, I know it's
Yeah, of
Jordan."
course it's me.
Okay.
Who else would it be?
It wasn't really anyone else.
Like, I saw the art for that stream, and I was like, "Oh, so the Robin Hood character is Jordan."
Yeah,
right. Like,
And it's yes, of course.
But
I
yes,
don't
no,
mind.
You'll find more,
We've
more
got-
about that
yeah.
on Sunday.
we've got our timetable thing, which is now pinned on our Twitter. So check that for times. Go! It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited. Let's go! Woohoo!
Speaking of let's go.
let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, fine. Yes, I will then. Cheers for the suggestion.
You're welcome.
In the nation of Adagan, a group of adventurers banded together, known as the Soulguard, have made a name for themselves, defending the nation from strange, aberrant threats. As war looms and now erupts into all-out conflict, the attentions of the nation are drawn to the west, where Volm sends troops and forces and mages to pressure the borders, and battles have erupted all along that border. But darker threats have been stirring, and the Soulguard on their adventures have become aware. A Lich Queen called Kaisa, hidden away for many, many centuries, is currently enacting a plot to resurrect a long petrified titan that is themselves an island in the sea, and to spread a new form of undeath. The Soulguard are aware of part of this ritual and have aligned two of their goals. One, to resurrect the lost and fallen party member slain in one of these invasions from the neighboring nation of Voln, Maple, who fell as a Nightwalker was summoned in the midst of a port town of Adigan. And so they require diamonds. And to find those, and also to interrupt the plot of the Lich Queen Kaiser, the Soulguard ventured down, deep into the Underdark, to find the Underdark dwellers' homes of Nute and Ashura, in the hopes of finding the way to the plane of elemental earth, to try and find the diamonds needed to resurrect their friend, and also find the heart of a Zaratan, a mighty elemental creature vital in the ritual of the Lich Queen Kaiser, to try and interrupt her schemes. Where we left off last time, the Soulguard ventured down through a ruined gnome burrow, deep through into the twisted, sentient Gordark, a living portion of the underground, still imbued with the divine magic that lives of its own accord. And they finally reached the rushing wind, the glowing crystals, and large underground expanse of the Underdark itself. But all was not quiet. Crystals flared up as magic surged in the area, the winds whipped into a storm, and infernal yells hailed some bloody conflict. Gripping the sword imbued with the spirit of a devil, Ashura charged off into the darkness, quickly followed by his friends, and they found a bloody fray. Demons and devils on both sides, demons erupting from a pool twisted with some kind of acrid, horrible, malformed magic, bodies strewn across the floor, blood staining the rock, the moss, the crystals, the plants, all across this scape. And although devils may not be the top of your list of allies, demons took the priority. And before we get back into not rolling initiative, but dive back into the midst of this battle as a mighty Garistro stands before you, for anyone who might happen to be new, let's go back for a very quick sentence or summary of who you are, what you look like. So, Riona, who are you, who do you play?
Hello, I play Hemlock, the half-orc, half-elf druid, circle of spores. She is a tall, thin half-orc figure with elven features. She walks with a staff to assist a limp and has her familiar, which is a tiny little frog called Lily, with a mushroom growing out of its back, little perched on her shoulder.
Beautiful. Markos.
Hello, I'm David. I play Markos Astreva. He is a human man, looks Mediterranean, and he is a ranger rogue who uses a rifle. He's a military boy. Big protect.
He is indeed. Alex.
I am playing Ashura, 10 level bard to level paladin. He is a drow. He's beautiful. He's fucking class. He's bold. He's wearing sunglasses, a large dark blue vest with silver armor underneath, and it has by its side a fucking devilish sword. And yeah, that's it.
And Jordan.
Hello. So I am playing the wonderful, beautiful Nute, who is a Durga Way of the Sun Soul monk. Typically goes around wearing like very loose, casual clothing. Pretty fucking old, if I do say so myself. Has a wiry white beard with flecks of grass sewn in between some sick elven tattoos, which occasionally light up in heat. Not really flames, more heat. And he's just here to punch stuff.
How utterly uncharacteristic of you to turn a bunch of things. And last but oh so far from least, Meggie.
Hi, I'm Meg. I play Marigold, who is a gnome. She is 3'1", so she's very small baby. She has white hair, which is intricately braided and put up into like the back of her head. She wears a lot of like pastels and floral print. She's your mum and you love her. Yeah, I don't know. And also Willow is here. He's a jackalope and he's adorable. And we love him too.
We certainly do. With that, I need a very quick thing from the chat. Could chat give me a number between 1 and 10, and could one of you guys shout out the first number you see?
Alrighty, I've got my eye on the chat.
I'm ready.
I've got my eye on chat.
Between 1 and 10.
From Tal.
8 from Tal.
8 from Tal. Just
Okay.
got that trigger finger.
In that case, as we pick up midst of the battle, Hemlock, as you rush across the battlefield away from this raging Garista and Nute, you've just landed this punch straight in its like lower abs, electricity flaring from your fist. The crystals all around you flaring, dimming, and like almost like pulsing, like almost like a twisted howling nightclub as the storming winds continue to rage past you. An 8.
Oh no.
Okay.
Is that how many Garistros appear?
Yes, 8 Garistos just
8 Garistos.
ripped into existence.
Nice.
You all see very briefly, you feel it almost like it's another dim of the crystals that seem to react to the winds and magic around them. But you notice a darkness spreading above you. As you glance up to it, you see a swirling, quivering rift open and go and like almost like the Saturn's rings flare up and begin to rotate around, and there is just a void. You do not see the rain falling, nor the glowing mist-like quality of the illuminated flecks of rain in the crystal light. You see just blackness, and your eyes focus for a second, and it looks like there are pinpricks of stars. It's like a night sky, but there's nothing familiar to it.
Oh hell yeah, we get to look at space.
After a few seconds, it quivers again and vanishes as a portal to the astral sea appears briefly before your eyes. With that, the Marigold, these infernal armored soldiers with their horrible childlike faces of brass armor bolted to their skulls and their halberds in hands, terrified of this thing but dedicated to their master, will first try and get rid of the last demon goat thing. And this guy's going to come up to you, Nute, because they're very good protecty boys. And
nice.
Those two are going to roll a couple attacks at that goat boy just very quickly. I can't even read this dice, I'm not using that. Yes and no.
While you do that, just a very quick shout out because I forgot to do it beforehand, but thank you for following for Polyclinical Paradise, The Mist Awakened, Hot Girl Crit, Shiny Stevie, Aqua Summer Woods, Coach Birdbot. I feel like there's more as well. And also Roven Doug.
Hell yeah.
And Pie Sharp.
Oh, thanks.
Yay!
Thank you.
You're all lovely.
Thank you
Love and
all.
appreciate you. You're wonderful.
That's such a flurry. Damn.
These have been over the last like 15 minutes. I just kind of forgot. I'm sorry.
No,
How dare you?
We're doing things.
You're such a bad producer, Jordan. It's like
Nute, as
damn.
you glance to your Apple Watch and check the Twitch chat, one of these infernal soldiers clanks up next to his brass armor, clanking against the ground with the red cape swishing behind, and it lunges with its halberd and it sticks it into the thigh of this large Garistro, and the Garistro howls out in pain and pushes back. This Marigold, however, just steps back out of the way and kind of lines up alongside you. The horrible childlike face, no eyes, no gaps, just turns towards you, and there's a slight nod. And it's creepy, and it's horrible, and you can feel a horrible, like, sulfurous heat coming from this thing. But in that briefest moment, it's an ally in a fight against a terrifying foe, and it's oddly reassuring.
It's a terrifying ally against a terrifying foe.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I think there's only one imp left, and he is going to...
It's right there.
Okay, hold on. You Hemlock, as you the closest one to this, you see this last imp, his horrible tattered wings flapping, like several chains and manacles attached, kind of looped through its clavicle, like as it's like flapping nearby. It kind of looks towards its master, the horned devil above, like, and back toward the Garistro, and is fucking terrified and begins to fly away. He begins to bolt because this Garistro is terrifying and he's a little imp.
Fair enough.
Little baby.
Fair enough. Wouldn't.
With that, yes, my boss, hello.
Quick one for Jordan. Check the music.
The music.
Yes, music.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
a bit.
I can hear it.
But can
Prue
they?
Pants cannot.
Oh, and if Prue said it,
Prue says we can only hear cave ambience and not any music. Do we also have music?
I'm
There is
currently
music in
hearing.
the Roll20.
I'm currently hearing battle music now. Roll 20.
I'm hearing battle
I can
music.
turn it up a little bit.
I'm not.
It's a bit quiet, apparently. Yeah.
We've had a hydrate
There you
redeemed
go, how
from the
about
flick
that?
from
Let's go.
flickering
Very
sword.
professional, guys. Just checking
I've
audio
also-
all the time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, talking of that, I've also realised I'm no longer on the initiative order. I think because you put me on the GM layer.
I did. I will take you out of the gym and just put you off in one corner.
Thank you.
Oh, look at us all in sync. There you
There
are.
we go.
Thank you for pointing you out. You are right there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you're just, I'll just hide you
Exactly.
in the bottom
I
right.
was like, I'm pretty sure I'm coming up soon, but I don't see myself.
2 books, 16 pages of monsters to flick backwards and forwards between 2 seconds. That's fine.
You mean you can't impersonate like 20 different people?
I don't know, I don't memorize all of these stat blocks at once, unfortunately, sorry.
Yeah.
Then what even is the fucking point?
Yeah, Andrew, I don't get it.
I know, right?
What are you even doing, Andrew?
What are you doing? Guys, I got so fucking weirded out by when I saw the deer. I was like, why is there a deer here? Why is it crystal too? It's like, God, what the fuck?
It's my little spirit totem.
Yeah.
Jalang, the
Get
Horn
wise.
Captain, flies above. He ascends and flaps almost like past you. Marigold, you hear it as his tail begins to coil backwards as he rears it ready, and he strikes down towards the Gristro, sinking his fork down as well. For the fork,
This boy doesn't fork around.
a bunch.
Oh, fuck you.
The tail misses. The tail, he sees Nute kind of quite close, and the tail's going for like an uppercut swing, and he pulls the blow so it doesn't quite slash into you, but it also misses the Garista. But the fork does pierce in and deals a little bit of damage into this hulking, muscular form. The Garista at this point kind of like batting backwards and roars out a horrible as he just tries to swat away at this flapping, harrying devil. With that, Marigold, in your hulking, gigantic ape form, you're a little bit small by inches, but you're comparable in size to this massive demon. What would you like to do?
Well, first, I am going to use my bonus action to move my spirit totem.
Okay.
I'm gonna move it to here.
Okay.
So everyone inside it has advantage on strength saving throws and checks.
Inside what radius?
I cannot see a circle.
Oh,
there's
I
this-
can.
Oh, I can't.
I will.
Might be visibility.
I will fiddle with that for a second. Hold on.
But anyway,
Um,
it's basically Nute and Markos
Yeah.
Okay.
And some devils.
and some
And
devils.
some devils.
Oh.
If you're going, yeah. So if you're in there, you have sneaky advantage on your strength stuff. And then I am gonna like reach behind me. I assume there are random loose rocks around. This is the Underdark.
Yeah, sure.
And I am gonna make
just punch the ground and make some.
yeah, and I'm gonna make a rock attack.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna throw a rock.
Oh, hell yeah.
Go ahead and roll some.
Very
Roll
strong.
an attack.
Don't you have like cantrips?
She's
I'm
a
not
giant.
I'm a giant ape, Alex.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I was just.
She's mini Kong.
Why aren't you using a cantrip instead of throwing a giant rock at something?
My mental image was completely wrong.
This little 3-foot Marigold picks up a boulder. Oh. Wait a second, that's not good.
Prison.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
Hello.
Oh no. What is happening? Ah! We are having some technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Alright,
Hello.
let's.
We're all back, everybody.
We'll get him back. Wait, back
Are we
online?
back on stream?
We are
Yeah,
indeed
we
back
are.
on stream. So just
Hi,
an
guys.
update. The Garista tried to punch a tree and missed, and got really sad. The stag tried to cast Power Word Kill, but didn't know the word, so instead just said a random word and got it wrong. And then Ashura just started playing some good vibes.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
do.
in Power Word Krill. And
What?
Yeah,
Shrimp.
just got covered in shrimp.
Okay,
It's
but
a power
what
trim.
actually happened is I rolled my attack and I rolled a 19 to hit.
Oh, dang.
I'm gonna say the closest thing to a boulder nearby is probably a chunk of this glowing crystal. And you
Yeah,
hurl
fuck it.
this gigantic boulder towards this thing. Go ahead and roll the damage for this.
Let me just roll my 7d6.
Yeah.
Oh my
boy.
god.
Picking up a fucking fireball. Almost.
Sanguis Blue is implying that we had technical difficulties because of that quivering void Andrew mentioned consuming us.
Oh no.
You know what? That's
Yeah.
probably it.
It's sucked off Discord's endpoint.
That's
Oh, no.
that's 32 damage.
32 damage. Nice.
Also, Andrew, did you have to worry
Yeah.
about that?
Can we
Sorry?
cancel Andrew, please? Thank you.
We can.
Nah.
Have advantage against us also, Andrew, at one point.
I'm aware. I have that written down. Don't you worry. Hell yeah, Marigold! You reach down and your massive ape, your simian hand grabs a giant crystal and you hurl it at the Garister. It kind of brings its arms up to block, but this massive crystal shatters and it's just like of energy as it dispels all the pent-up magical force within. Takes a step back and stumbles and kind of pulls its arms back, but they're like cuts and bruises and like battered through flesh on its arms, a bunch of the horrible fur. Nute, what's your passive perception?
Mine is, I believe, 16?
16? Yeah, when this crystal mashes into the forearms of this Garister and it takes a step back, you see the wounds. Where there are cuts, lacerations, those bruises, you can see the skin almost begin to just pull open and just like a handful of tentacles just go from the wound.
Ew!
Don't like that.
Lowers
Ew!
its head, growls.
I
in
would like
horrible-
to retcon and give myself lower passive perception, please.
Marigold, is there anything else for your turn?
No, that's me. I'm done.
Alrighty, Ashura, you are up next. What would you like to do?
Okay, the Garistro is a bit of a problem.
Oh, I should have just thrown Ashura.
Yeah, definitely. I am moving away from that big fucking gorilla. He is gonna tuck away his sword for now, and he's gonna walk away because he is hurt. Right. You should get maybe lie down, and he's gonna cast command on the Garistro. So he needs
Command
to
on the
roll.
Garister.
Yeah, he needs to roll some wisdom saving throw.
Bold move. I like it.
Or move. Well, I mean, that's what he does, isn't it?
He's gonna.
Is
roll
this saving
a-
throw with advantage from the chat?
It is, because it's advantage on the next roll. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, no.
This
Will
roll is-
said it was. Will said
It
it
was
wanted
against the
specifically
player.
against players.
Yeah, it's
so.
true.
Ah, okay.
Also, this roll already has advantage as it has magic resistance.
Wow, what a nerd.
Obviously it does.
It's a bit of a nerd. It did roll a 19, so that is a 26 on the wisdom.
Actually, Andrew, I'm very sorry. I have 25.
Is that your DC now?
It is like right under my DC. Okay, cool. Fucking hell, that shit. He is gonna be like, I tried. And
His gaze moves to meet yours across the battlefield, and there's this moment where you're like, oh no.
great. I'm gonna move away and just maybe like stand like next to Hemi. No, 30 foot to there, there, just so in case. Yeah, that's my turn, and he's just gonna take out the sword again and be like, I guess that's what I can do.
Okay. With that,
Okay.
it is the Garistro's turn. Now, the devil is flying above so that it gives plenty of room to you, Nute, but the Garistro is going to use that, and he's going to, seeing the other large threat on the battlefield, it lowers its horns. Its horrible, massive cloven feet scrape into the stone, and even though it is hard rock, it seems to almost peel away, like pulling a thumb across an area of bad skin burn, and the rock
Ow.
peels away. And it is going to charge at Marigold. It pushes past the devil and you, Nute. So if you want to make attack opportunity, you certainly may.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll take
This
one.
is exactly what I wanted. Come and wrestle me, you
I technically have disadvantage on this.
Let them fight.
So, Okay, yeah, that was like a 14.
Okay, that does not quite hit, I'm afraid. Marigold, this attack will be with advantage. Thank you, Will.
Oh no.
Not on the giant gorilla.
I have all of my hit points right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
It's
but
a 32 to hit.
remember it's
Jesus
concentration.
Christ!
That was a 19. If that had been a 20, things would be unpleasant. Just let me roll
I
this
should roll
damage
a
real quick.
concentration, shouldn't I?
When you know what the damage is, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Now, when the Grister moves at least 15 feet straight towards the target and hits with the gore attack, it does take some extra damage.
Wonderful.
Don't worry, it's not very much.
I mean, it's fine. You got the giant ape to tank it all.
I have plenty of hit points right now. It's chill.
As you see
I
this
have-
massive creature lumbering towards you, it lowers its horns and you raise your massive muscular arms ready to brace. Take 103 points of piercing damage as these massive horns slam through your forearms and you roar out through your massive...
What the fuck?
No.
Nice knowing you guys.
If-
Bye. I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
Guys,
I'm
no,
just
no,
gonna.
No, shut up.
No.
Shut up. If I make this concentration check, I'm still a giant ape, okay, bitch? I still have hit points.
The DC
Maggie,
is like.
the DC is like 50.
The DC is 10 or half the damage taken, whichever's higher.
Whichever's higher.
Yes.
The DC, so
That's
the DC
so
is like
dumb.
51.
Well,
If you're rolling
DC
that
is
20.
51.
And you're
Why
rolling
is
that
that a
20.
thing?
to be fair, Meg, you
That
just
is
took
how
like
con-
100 damage.
That is how concentration have always worked. I'm gonna say, if you roll a nat 20, you can keep it.
I mean,
Oh.
For the
Come on.
for the chat's knowledge, out of those 14.
someone quickly give me advantage.
Out of those 14d10, there were 4 10 and 3 9. Oh, 4
No, there
9.
was
Four
4
nines.
nines,
Holy
4 tens and 4 nines.
It was a good roll. It was a good roll.
It was a good roll.
D10, Jesus
Only
Christ.
1-1.
Yeah, only
Okay.
one.
So, Maggie, come on. Giving you
Holy
good
fuck.
vibes. Good vibes.
You
Come
got
on,
this.
Maggie.
You've got this.
Wilbo's giving you advantage.
Wilbo's giving
Damn.
Take it.
Shout out to Tal is probably crazy for gifting a tier 1
Oh,
sub.
hell yeah, Tal.
You are lovely,
Thank you,
Maggie.
Thanks, buddy.
Tal is just the sweetest.
Lucky
That
man.
was just
Tal is
memory.
wonderful.
You've got this, Marigold.
Come on.
Natural
Come on.
fucking 20, bitch!
Hey.
Let's go! Yes! Fuck you, Andrew! Sorry.
There is an audible grinding sound as your massive 8 teeth clench. You almost feel one of them just like harmlessly crack in the back of your jaw. These horns are with you manage to push it away, and the horrible sliding stinging as these horns pull out of your forearms, and the Grister is very much up in your space.
I do only
Your
have
grill.
54 hit points left, guys.
Only.
In
Only
that total or in
54.
aid form?
Megan, do you remember
I
when
have
we were like.
106
Okay, that's
and
pretty good.
Marigold, so once I'm Marigold, I still have plenty of hit points.
Marigold has more hit points than me.
Same.
Marigold has
the
the
con
has
necklace.
the
I've got
19
the
con
Constitution
necklace.
amulet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy damn.
Meg, do you remember
Remember
when we both looked at each other and saying, like, oh yeah, it's fine, he's gonna hit you with your sack of HP, and you're just like, okay.
I mean, to be fair, did exactly what
I
was
mean,
meant
that's what you're
to.
there for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Because if that had hit you, that would be a problem.
That would be a problem.
That is the Garister's turn. Nute, this thing rushes past you, swing out, but it moves with a horrible, unpredictable speed, and it slams into Marigold. The roar echoes through the howling wind. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
I am going to move 5 feet so that I'm behind it.
I'm gonna move the demon, the devil guy, so you can see yourself a little more clearly.
And I'm going to punch. Multiple
What?
times. I know.
Inconceivable.
I'm guessing this is no flanking because they're all like awkward angles, yeah?
It's. I'll give you flanking for it.
Oh.
It's very much up in the face of Marigold.
Well, yeah. That was common,
Let's face it,
yeah.
you can
That
use
one's a
it
nat 1, so we'll ignore that one.
That does not hit.
The other one is a 23 to hit, though.
23 does hit.
I'll roll my second punch as well.
Yes.
Yeah, second punch is only like a 13.
Ooh.
So that will be, hiya! 11 magical bludgeoning damage.
11 magical bludgeoning damage.
Punch it in the ankle, that's all I can reach.
Your fist punches through, and you do feel a slight force of its thick hide, but your punch channels through. You find that sweet spot. You feel its horrible, radiating, evil energy, and you punch that little bit deeper and harder, and it kind of back down towards you.
And now, seeing that absolutely filthy damage that was just done to the ape, I'm gonna use a bonus action to dodge with a key point. I ain't gonna take that risk.
You guys, I just want to briefly talk about the fact that our bot automatically listed nitwit as a profanity in the chat.
What?
I get it.
Will told someone to click on the nitwit points, and nitwit was listed as a profanity.
I feel like that's not right.
No, you
I mean, like, it is technically like a British insult that's used sometimes, like, oh, you nitwit.
But like,
Profanity's a strong way of terming
that is
it.
a very strong word.
This is like the lightest insult I know. Nitwit.
Nute,
nitwit.
as you take a step back into that defensive stance, ready to try and dodge side to side if this thing turns on you. Is there anything else you'd like to do for your turn, or is that
That is my turn. I'm just chilling, dodging, bobbing and weaving.
Hemlock, with that is your turn. You hear the roars, the screaming wind. What do
I'm gonna hold out my hand towards this Garistro as the spores start to float around it and throw them out. And I'm gonna cast Blight at 5th level. Can you make a con save for me, please?
It probably can.
Probably can.
That is a natural 20, so a 33.
Yes, so half of this. Give me a minute.
Damn.
Oh my.
It halves a lot of this stuff, but you guys are chipping through it. You are dealing a lot.
So, the half of 37.
Got it.
I can't do maths. It's
18.
18
necrotic damage.
The spores reach out, and in a way you haven't seen before, the swirling black and green misty cloud of spores is dotted with small glowing dots, as some of these spores seem to glow slightly of their own accord. But as they reach the Garistro and pierce through its thick hide, there's a horrible cracking sound, and the outer layer of the hide begins to crumble into dust, and it falls away, exposing a glistening muscle and fiber beneath.
Oh, gross.
It roars out at this point, bashing its own chest like the large gorilla in front of it, and it roars into the wind. But at this point, the winds are raging so loud, it's almost just one sound of roaring, screaming noise. Is there anything else you guys do? Move, bonus actions?
I will. I'm going to back off a little bit to over here.
Okay.
Andrew is determined to make everything in this game fleshy at some point.
Fleshy, meaty tentacles.
With that, Markos, this horrible, massive creature now only a couple feet away from you, that's rushing about into your allies.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the big bull bat ginger demon trying to murder everyone, so I'm just gonna hop up onto this little ledge behind me. And I'm gonna pull out my bow. I should still have Hunter's Mark on him, and I'm gonna take 2 shots.
Go ahead and roll some attacks on this boy.
I get sneak attack.
Correct.
But I don't get advantage.
Unless one person in the chat gave you advantage. No.
I tried to give myself advantage, but it didn't count.
Okay.
It's not flanking because I'm not in melee, right?
Yeah, correct. So you have currently no reason for advantage, but because your allies are within 5 feet of it, you do get sneak attack if you hit.
Okay, in that case I will not use sharpshooter. Okay. But I will use a new dice. Yeah! Which I got for Secret Santa, so I don't know who from, but you know who you are. And I'm gonna shoot this boy twice.
Hell yeah.
We still haven't done the Secret
That's
Santa
a 22 to
22
hit on the first one. And shall I roll the second one as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep. That's a 21.
Just look him in the ass. So do it.
21 hits as well. Go ahead and roll 2 attacks with advantage. Add your sneak attack to the first one.
Sneak attack with the first one. Has it already taken damage?
A little bit, yeah. It's looking bloody. This thing it's fighting and it's raging. It has so much fury within it that its motion hasn't slowed at all, but you can see it's leaking Icarus blood from its various wounds.
Leaking.
Sweet. So that's 2d6 sneak attack, 2d6 on the bow, another 1d6 for Hunter's Mark, and a 1d8 for Colossus Slayer.
Go.
Correct.
Oh boy.
What's 4?
Boy.
Oh, there's a lot of ones in that.
Oh no.
14, 16, 18, 22 points of damage on the first shot.
Nice.
First shot, nice.
And then the second shot gets, I believe, everything except it just gets the bow, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it gets a Hunter's Mark as well.
Hydrate.
So it's 3d6 plus 4.
Hydrate.
Okay. So this one is another 15 points of damage.
These two arrows streak across, and because this creature is now so distracted with the giant ape, the devil behind it, Nute, there in the side throwing punches in its thighs, these arrows sink straight into its large muscular back. They sink beneath the flesh, and both of them have that kind of concussive boom of the force energy from this bow, and it stumbles to one side, and it turns towards you. Surrounded at this point, you can see there are so many wounds across its form. It can't grin. In a previous shot, you blew off a section of its lip, but it snarls, and there's this kind of bubbling, growling snarl as kind of fluid pours between its teeth. As it turns back around, out of the wound from those shots, another tentacle goes.
No!
Oh no!
And swipes around. I need Nute,
Wait.
Marigold, and the devil to make a quick dexterity saving throw.
You don't
Lol.
really have to, you know, like...
The
it's-
devil guy rolled.
What was that? Sorry, my laptop muted for some reason.
A dexterity saving throw as a tentacle erupts from a wound on the demon's back.
Newt got a
What is
26.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit.
Point.
Oh yeah, I think I might have advantage anyway as well because of dodge.
Yep, I think so.
So like, it...
That's only like a 13.
13, okay.
Meg,
Run
did you have advantage from chat?
I
Oh,
used
you
it
used
when
it.
I
Oh, yeah.
rolled that nat 20.
Oh yeah, sorry, apologize.
Oh no.
Marigold, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage. Newt, you take half that. Actually, no, you take none because of evasion.
None because of evasion. He's just like...
Evasion's the best.
Devil Boy will take a little bit of that. Cool. Markos.
Was that a reaction to me hitting him?
Yes.
So I still have turn.
You still, it's your turn still. Go ahead.
Maggie,
Sweet.
you'll
In that
have
case-
to do a con save, by the way. Because damage.
I do have to do a con save.
This
I
is
used
the
10 foot of movement getting up here.
Yes, I'll do that.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
rolled a 19. It's still.
Nice.
So I'll use another 20 to get down there, and then bonus action dash round to this side of it, so that I'm
Perfect.
slightly further away.
Ooh,
Absolutely. Bit of parkour off the rocks, you back up to take the shots and then slide down the rock and sprint around the cover behind this flying
Hell yeah.
devil captain as he's still there kind of surveying the area. With that, let's go for... A, B, C, D, E, D, meeny, miny, moe. Let's go... Riona, could you roll a D10 for me real quick?
I can.
Ooh.
As the layer action
It's
comes.
cocked. 2.
2. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
Oh god. Oh god.
Alrighty. No one notices anything in particular at this moment in time.
I don't like that.
With how high our
Man.
passive perceptions are, that's worrying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's worrying. Andrew, are you sure? Like even Markos doesn't see it?
With that, these
Okay.
the rest of these devils are going to start converging. Now that they have cleared the field of these other foes, the Marigold begin to flock to the Garistra. They line up around it, one alongside you, Nute. Cool.
David, terms of service, please. Come on now.
Dave.
I don't know what you're on about.
David. Is
What?
David simping?
I love that Riona just asked in our Roll20 chat who drew a dick. I didn't need to ask. I saw David all smirk that whole time.
I was
Sat
so
there
close
like-
to do it. I was so close to do it, and then I started drawing armor on the Garistra, and I was like, I'm not a child. And then somebody did it, and I was like, yes, thank you.
I'm a child.
You did it for the cloud. It's fine. It's fine. Now he has armor.
Oh my.
The Marigons begin to flank around the imp there, lashing its tail as a distraction, and they form this phalanx of halberds that lower and begin to carve into the flesh as his Garistra starts like backing away and roaring and swatting at them, slightly in vain, as now so outnumbered it's beginning to take a bit of a beating. It's beginning to look quite
Oh.
bloodied. More than bloodied, quite significantly more than just bloodied.
Fucking finally.
I was gonna say.
The devil boy himself is going to try and throw its spear down into the Garistra's head, but actually rolls kind of garbo.
Yeah.
And that
I want
actually
the
misses
devil
as
to get
well.
the finish
The devil, even with all this flanking, is like flapping above, and has already. The devil captain himself took a really large hit at the beginning of this fight when the Garistro appeared, and he seems to be still suffering. His wings torn and tattered. He can't quite keep himself stable, and the fork misses the Garistro, batting away its attack.
Poor buddy.
Marigold.
It's okay, bro. I got this.
What do you got?
I'm gonna throw 2 punches at him. I assume I have
Hell
advantage
yeah.
because I'm flanking
You
with
do
devil.
have flanking.
Yeah. That first one is a 20.
21 hits. The AC is 19 on this boy.
Yeah, and the other one's more than that.
Hell yeah, go ahead and roll some damage.
So let me roll how many d10?
Many.
6
Mucho.
d10.
Nute's watching you punch this thing like, hell yeah, finally someone else is getting in on this.
Monkey punch.
Monkey punch. Nice.
That sounds like a drink from like the 90s or something.
Yeah.
Like-
Or like a board game.
Monkey punch.
Or a board game.
Yeah.
That is 46 bludgeoning damage.
46
Yeah.
points of bludgeoning is nice. The various devils now coming and forming this wall of spears, stabbing into it. The arrows flying into its back, but you in your massive gorilla form raise your fists towards it. How do you want to do this, Marigold?
Yeah!
Oh,
Yeah!
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey! Hell yeah!
Yeah, so it's like fucking being stabbed all over, and seeing it's like targeting me and my friends with the tentacles. I wanna like grab onto the tentacles, rip them out, and then just
Hell
beat
yeah.
him into the ground.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. You guys get rained on. These tentacles, as you pull one out, you can see almost another vestigial one replacing it and spreading across, but you just rip it out and just beat this thing down. It goes down to one knee, roaring out, it goes down to another, and with a final crack and a thud, its horns hit the floor and stone. There's a horrible, prolonged gurgling as its final breath pours out through a blood-filled mouth. Bubbles and foam form at the corners. But with that, it lies still. I'm not going to drop us out of initiative order just yet, in case there's anything else you guys want to do. So I'll give it a round of people's turns if there's anything else you guys would like to do. So Marigold, anything else you'd like aside from just beating the shit out of a Garistro with its own wound tentacle?
That's a sentence.
Welcome to Chasing Tails.
I think Ape Marigold is just gonna let out like a big roar, and then I'm going to dispel the polymorph,
Okay.
and it will come back down to being Marigold, and she'll just like brush down the front of her skirt and be like, oh, well, got that out of the way.
Nice.
Beautiful. Ashura, you see this giant demon collapse to the ground. Still are there these multiple devils and this captain flying. He lands on his feet. Is there anything that you'd like to do?
Is it dead? Like, let's just poke it just to check. Maybe no. I feel like that'd
Find
be
the devils.
useful.
Find
Yeah,
the
just-
devils, do it, you coward.
He's gonna move away from the devils, just like there, maybe behind.
No, I'm gonna, as soon as you start moving, I'm just gonna yell at you like, Ashura, here, you're hurt, now! Get over here! Get over here!
Oh, fair enough. I'm bleeding the entire way.
over
While I'm walking, I'm just gonna ask Kithala, the demon blade, devil blade on my side. Remind me the name of the guy?
The captain's name's Jalang. You hear the voice
Jalang?
enter your mind from the sword.
Okay, cool. Thanks. And that's it. That's my turn. I'm gonna move up to Hemlock and just have my hand on my hilt, just in case.
Okay. The Garistro uses its turn to stay dead.
Yes.
Nute, Hemlock, Markos, anything that you guys would like to do in the dying moments of this combat, or are you good to descend into more of a conversational?
Come on, Jordan.
I would like to
Come on.
hide in this tree.
Make a stealth check.
Now
Come on, Jordan, you coward. Do it. Punch them.
Natural 20.
Oh shit.
You are very well hidden.
A total
I'm
of
gonna-
32.
I'm gonna smack a cure wounds on our boy Ashura. Do it at a third level.
Let's go.
Should put in my health.
Oh yes.
Are you? Yeah. How are you?
I'm
at 38.
Are you fine?
I'm doing great. I've only lost.
You're just on the side, just like hey.
Right.
Oh, as a bonus action as well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Oh.
would Markos know if moving Hunter's Mark to another creature alerts that creature in any way?
That's a good point.
I'm going to quickly look up the spell and see what
It has components.
Yeah, but
You've
you
already
cast
cast
it.
the spell though.
Yeah.
Yes, but as a bonus action, I can move it when the target of the creature dies.
Ashura, you get 18 hit points back.
Oh, thank God. Thank you
If
very
the
much.
target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action to move the mark. I don't think that is a recasting anyway. The only components are verbal. I think you can move it to another target with confidence that they probably wouldn't notice.
Okay, I'd like to move it to the Devil Captain.
Okay.
Cool. Man.
Thank you.
Man.
Uh-oh.
I like it. I like it.
Hey, it's just insurance. I'm not
Yeah.
intending to attack him, it's just insurance. But obviously none of you know that.
No.
As you guys make these moves, Markos, you, in the dying moments of this battle, already over there near that cover, you just vanish in behind this Zerkwood tree. Kind of your feet get slightly wet in this pool to one side. Before probably the rest of these opponents have maybe looked around to reassess the situation. Marigold, your hands still kind of covered in ichor. Could you roll a d10 for me?
Ooh.
The
Yeah.
layer still exists, yeah.
Yes.
Just hit the ground, people. You're gone. Punch the
A
ground.
1.
A 1.
One.
Another unpleasant hailing of razor-like wind as these raindrops seem
Aw.
to freeze in place. You all take
Hail.
you all take a really, really impactful 3 points of slashing damage.
Ow. Ow.
Ow.
And so does
Ow.
everyone else. The imp nearly dies. Marigold take a slight chip away as well. Hemlock,
Yes.
as you reach your hand out towards Ashura and begin to cast Cure Wounds, the air around your hand begins to swirl with a powerful wind, and the spell almost seems to recoil back in your hands.
Oh.
The healing is still dealt. However, Ashura and Nute, could you both make strength saving throws for me, please?
Oh
we
no.
Can. I mean, we with the hufty buffies of the.
Oh yeah, we got the
yes.
buff by gauntlets, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I rolled a 3, dude.
I
So
got
it's
buff-
a 7.
A 15.
Buff my gauntlets.
Nute,
Wait, I have advantage. That's a 12. That's
12.
not.
As,
not that good.
as the spell is cast, the wind seems to rush and coalesce in your hands, and in a moment, shockwave blasts out from the casting of the spell. Nute, you manage to keep your footing in your steady dwarven form, but Ashura, you get thrown back 10 feet and take 5 points of force damage.
Oh, let's go. Let's
I'm
go. Thank you for the
sorry.
healing. Thank you for the healing. We've had
Well.
It's still healed me a bit.
I'm going to close initiative order just for now.
I'm
As
just standing with my hand out. It's like, I didn't mean to do that. That what?
Okay, like that's fine, but do you think could you teach me that?
I
Honestly,
don't know
like-
what I did. I don't.
Why?
That wasn't me. I didn't do that. I'm sorry.
All
And I'll
right.
go run. I'll go run over, and I'm gonna help him up if I can.
Okay, thank you.
I'm
it's
sorry.
easy enough.
Do not touch me for now, please.
It's
Stay away.
I'm sorry.
You notice the wind is beginning to die down. It's music over there. You are correct. Battle music is still on.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
As this body of the Garistro steams slightly, the wind begins to slow into more of a hearty breeze rather than a gale force torrent of wind and rain. As all of you begin rushing off to various corners and to begin your healing, Willow is going to dash up towards Marigold.
Oh yeah.
Chill out next to you.
Cutie.
The devil captain lands, his split clawed feet thudding into the ground, the claws scratching slightly as they dig into the stone. His large furled and tattered wings curl up behind his back, and he spends a moment. The rest of these Marigold form up around him in what looks to be a very well practiced formation. They all kind of come up around in like a triangle around him and stand on guard, not lunging or weapons down or anything, but they seem to be ready. And the Devil Captain looks to each of you and waits.
Well, each of most of us.
Yeah, he just absolutely does not notice you, Markos. He's like, he furrows his brow briefly, like, where's the
man with the bow?
Wasn't there another one?
What would you guys like to do?
Is Jalang your name, right?
Yes, Jalang's my name.
Alright, well I guess you
Hydrate.
He raises his chin and grips the shaft of his double-pronged fork.
Another hydrate.
Oh
I
god.
don't have any water left.
I just peed.
I'll just...
Sorry, I'm still giggling at gripping.
Oh my
his
god,
shaft.
that's 5 hydrates.
Oh my god!
I have no water.
Solid 5 seconds.
Everyone just chug.
That's like half a pint. I can't chug.
Yeah, no, you chug it. You chug it.
Chug, you coward.
Chug it.
I'm already too hydrated.
Oh, I know. Your pores are gonna be too open.
Get your juice.
Yeah. Like, I guess you owe us, right? You owe us one.
I think in a moment we helped each other.
No, I mean, like, we heard screams, we came. There were demons, you were getting your ass handed to you. I guess, like, we kind of helped there. And you're devils, so it's not like we really wanted to.
In a brief moment, our objectives aligned. Demons taking this place helps no one. We achieved that.
That's fair. So where are you going now?
Nowhere that I believe will intersect with your paths going forward. His eyes narrow slightly. You see, he seems to be very careful with his words. And is shrewdly observing each of you and trying to take in the vibe. Markos.
Can I be doing the same?
Go ahead, make
Shrewdly
an insight check.
observing him. Sweet.
Insight. Are you going for perception or insight?
I think I'm trying to gauge the sort of threat level of this situation, really.
Okay.
Just sort of like, I'm hidden, I have him hunters marked, I'm ready to shoot, but I just need a read, you know?
Go ahead, make an insight check for me.
And that is a 10 plus... 11! No, 7! Sorry, I was looking at perception. 17!
17. The Marigons and the Imp. The Marigons seem utterly emotionless. They are standing to guard, each of them scanning slowly around to keep their spatial awareness very finely tuned, not quite enough to spot you. The Imp is kind of coiled up almost at one of their feet. He had like a ringed piece of chain that links and pierces through underneath each collarbone. One of those has been torn out, and he's like holding that, like watching just fearfully. He's just terrified and near death. He doesn't want to die. Jalang, you immediately, by spending any second looking with squinted eyes, see he is a very careful individual when it comes to their wording. But in terms of their body language and their stance and how he immediately commands his troops, it appears that he does not appear to be... He definitely doesn't desire a fight.
Okay.
He seems to be very much on the receiving. He's very much listening to what the rest of your party are going to bring. Essentially, he's aware of the fact that you guys probably don't like devils, but is also... would be content for this to end and part their own ways.
Yeah, he just sort of wants us all to walk in opposite directions and never see each other again.
Yeah.
Okay, that puts me at ease. I'll still keep Hunter's mark up, I'm just gonna chill slightly.
Okay.
I think Marigold
Hydrate.
is gonna like, she's gonna hydrate because it's important. With
Very
iced
important to
coffee.
keep your fluids topped up. Devil Captain gets a flask of something and
She's gonna like trot on
protein
over to these guys
okay.
and be like, right, should we get going then? Where's Markos?
I'll just step out of the bush like I've been there for years and just be like,
Oh, hello.
hello. And just wander over.
Marigold looks like
Totally
she's like...
intending to surprise the devils and just make them be like, huh.
The Narragons do not react at all.
Comes
The
over.
captain kind of tilts his head, his eyes narrow slightly. You see with your perceptive eyes his grip tighten ever so slowly, the yellowish brown skin of his fingers whiten at the knuckles, and then relax again as he sees you calmly walking first of a group. The imp is like...
You can see Marigold is like grinning. She's like proper chuffed with herself.
Before we move away, don't mind me asking that you have no particular business with others of my kind or the dwarf here, just on this mission. Whoever, I don't know.
His eyes narrow. His eyes are just eternally narrowing. He's very beady-eyed.
Again, and more, just...
He's actually closed his eyes and they're now reopening the opposite way. It's pretty.
Yeah. He pauses for a moment. Not today. Though perhaps I misunderstand what you mean by your kind. I do not see many of your kin carrying a weapon such as that. And he glances down at your hip.
Do you know who that's in it?
I have an idea.
Let them have a chat.
Nah, you do. That's not a good idea.
That would be so funny though.
Do you want it back? Do you want to do something with it? Do you feel like maybe you want to free her?
Have it, I would. If you're willing to part with it, I might make an offer, but free her, no. She's in there for a reason.
Fair enough.
What is the reason?
Cathella done fucked up.
Failure to uphold the mission is taken seriously, and while to kill one of ours is difficult and crude, many punishments can last longer and inflict a much more permanent lesson.
Not obeying orders.
Not succeeding in her goals.
Right.
It's one thing to promise that you are capable of something to make an embarrassment of yourself and others because of it. It is hubris that cannot go unpunished.
Well, if I'm not going to give it to you, I just wanted to know if you were interested in having it. But
I'm not here for a sword, and whatever it might put you the rest at ease. Put the rest of you at ease. I have no business this day with your kin.
I look at the party. Some of us are beaten, I guess. I turn my back. Well, I guess we will part ways here.
You fought well. If we cross paths again, I shall look forward to the challenge.
Yeah, you'll die.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make a point of visibly dismissing the Hunter's Mark spell on him and just turn around and start walking away.
Nice!
Oh. Oh.
As you all begin your dramatic walk away, he kind of spins his large fork and it vanishes in a little cloud of flames and smoke. He
Impressive.
barks something in Infernal, and the rest of the Marigold snap to attention as their armored shoes all clank in time, and they begin to march around him as they head off in a different direction.
Question for the DM?
Marigold just wants to call after them and be like, "Bye."
No, the bad guys.
The captain turns and gives you kind of a stern but giving nod. The imp kind of bye.
I love him.
Flying, he
I
lands
love
on
him.
one of the Marigon. He lands on one of the Marigon, and the Marigon's like, and just keeps
Oh my
moving.
god.
What did the captain say to the guards in Inferno?
Onwards.
Onwards.
Just a very
done.
simple command of just let's go. Ba boop beep boop ba. With
Well, that was a tough fight.
Demons. This is the first
there is
time
still
I
a
have
gigantic corpse of a Garistro, a Bulgara, and a bunch of demons and imps and Marigon around the place. Just I didn't even off the
Hey.
screen, but this is a littered battlefield of bodies.
Hey Hemlock, you wanna harvest
I
some
was gonna
shit?
say,
Kinda. But can I, before I do, I don't know, do maybe like an Arcana check to see if I can figure out why the fuck I yeeted Ashura when I tried to heal him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, make
That's
an
a good
Arcana check.
question. That's a
I'm
good-
very
BRB.
confused.
Go.
That is a 19.
A 19. You are a sharp-eyed lady, and it seemed that when many of these strange, odd, magical anomalies occurred, the wind seemed to change.
Okay.
The strange wind and rain shifted or moved or reacted to magic in some way. And you're fairly confident that whatever magic it is that seems to infuse these glowing crystals that reacts when certain magics are nearby and when the wind blows across them, there is some kind of strange magical energy that flows between and around these things that reacts strangely and can cause strange anomalies to occur.
So it's the magic of the crystals is reacting to other magics, effectively.
The crystals and the wind, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like in the way that like if you like have like a torch and you like burn something, it like flares at it from one side. It seems that the crystals react to the wind.
Okay.
So when the crystals dim and the wind blows, like that side of it glows and kind of
Got it.
ripples and like yeah.
So if we were doing the spell now, nothing would happen, right? Because the wind is gone.
Make
Cast a spell and find out.
Sure, you can make an Arcana check at advantage because this is your home turf.
Oh, that's a 19 plus I don't know how much. Plus 8, so that's 27.
Yeah, this is the wind is something called the Phaseras. I mentioned it briefly last time. I think it's a strange magic that exists when planar magic and energy kind of exists in the space. And in the Underdark, it becomes trapped and concentrated, and it carries this energy with it, and it can sometimes have strange reactions and interactions with magic, and it also gives the name to these crystals called phase shards, which, in response to that magic, and when it's carried on the wind, they glow. So
Very cool.
with the devils leaving and this portal closed, and a powerful fiend from another plane is now dead, that interplanar magic is now much less active in this space, and so that's why the wind is beginning to die down and the crystals to dim.
So yeah, I'm like, I guess go ham on the demon.
Yes. Maybe just in case, maybe keep a little bit of distance in case I'm thinking about maybe trying to decompose it in a little bit, and I don't want anyone to, get thrown again.
Okay. I guess
That's a good idea.
Do you think we should maybe try and find somewhere to rest soon? I think in daytime times it's getting quite late. So
Yes, that would be a plan.
How do you even know what time of day it is down here?
How long has it been?
I just-
DM?
Just kind of internal
we
monologue.
thought about how many hours I'd been awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are getting pretty close to being quite tired. you guys are like, this is the end of the day for you. When you descended down the long elevator shaft from the mines down into the Gordark, that was like the end of your day. You short rested when that took you to like the afternoon. Then you had a couple hours of walking through the Gordark. You arrived here and had this battle. So it is like 9 p.m. I think for you guys. This is the same day that you trekked across the mountains from after teleporting through the plants.
Damn.
Oh jeez, it's the same day.
It's the same day.
It's all the same day.
We had a spider fight. We've got knocked out.
It's been one day over like 3 sessions of D&D.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, sleep time.
You are in the Underdark. You do not know exactly where you are, but you really only just arrived, so you haven't really had time to take your bearings. But you are all of you beginning to get really quite tired, and you've exerted yourselves a lot. So bear that in mind when it comes to long rests and stuff. While maybe you haven't gone to bed super late, you've been pushing yourselves pretty physically all throughout the day.
Yes, I would like to, well, before we kind of set up for a long rest, do a little bit of study and of harvest, particularly of the Bulgur and the Garistro.
Yeah.
Just having a bit of a look-see and see what I can gather.
When you look over to Nute, he's already got some of the tools that you'll need just out and ready. Because he already knows what's gonna happen.
What a good supportive boyfriend. Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty. So was that? Sorry, I was maybe noticed me. Was that some of you guys are taking a short rest?
Or do we want a long rest?
No.
I'd like to try and find somewhere to camp for the night.
Yeah.
Ideally.
What do you think? Is this a bad place? I feel like it might be,
I
but
don't particularly want to be near where the giant portal was.
yeah,
Just in
I feel
case
like
that happens again.
that's fair. We should move maybe just try to find another alcove or something.
If I'll stay. Yeah, we can stay and I'll do some work and then.
A couple of us can go quickly have a look around to see if there's anywhere nearby.
Well, Ashura, we should go and find somewhere to sleep.
I was going to propose that.
Find a alcove or a nook or cranny.
One of the three.
Any synonym of those words? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I agree.
And the rest of you are staying nearby with Hemlock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the rest of you is me, so.
Yeah.
With the party, let's go.
And Nute.
I mean, Nute already specified
That's
he
true.
was chilling here, so.
Meg, it's because you've been controlling multiple characters for so long, you know?
Yeah, so
I am everyone.
so
in this
egotistical,
party.
man. Jeez. Okay.
I am
Markos and
the
Ashura.
Yeah.
Markos and Ashura. Let's have a survival check from each or advantage with one of you.
I feel like I'm
How
gonna
good are
get-
you at survival, Ashura?
Well, the thing is, I'm not as good as you, but I'm +4 because I have half thing. But it is my home turf, and I was a scout. But I guess I'll give it to you anyway.
You weren't
Worst
quite
case,
enough of a
I
scout
have-
to be a ranger.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give it to you.
Okay,
Take advantage, though.
so advantage.
Avantage.
See how we do. Ooh, pretty good.
We like pretty good.
23.
Hey,
16
let's
plus
go.
7.
23, yeah. Within pretty short order, you find a strangely beautiful, frozen wave shape of salt-like mineral. It has almost like icicles, which it curves up on itself and has these solid tendrils which kind of peer down.
Stalagmites.
It's maybe like a 10-12 foot high wave with it curves and then has dangling stalactites across the top. Ashura, you recognize this mineral to be Santutan. Santutan.
Santutan.
Santutan, or in common, sunstone. It has these towards where these stalagmites hang, which may be a foot long each. If you break off the exterior, the exposed mineral will then react with the air and glows with a 10 foot of dim light for about 10 minutes before it reacts and then crusts over, and then you can break off another small bit and then it glows again.
That's the thing. That's the thing that is being used in the streets of Hokuri's cities, right?
That is quite commonly used. Very often, very commonly used as emergency lighting.
Okay.
Or glow sticks. 'cause
Glow
it's
sticks.
not super
Glow
bright, and it needs someone to like break off a bit every 10 minutes.
Use it at Hakuri raves.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Grind it up into powder and like face paint yourself with it. You get a mage to cast, instead of dancing lights, dancing black lights.
Oh no.
Oh, no, dancing lights, as in not lights that dance, but lights to dance.
Lights to
Yeah.
dance to.
Yeah.
Modules of like different colors which pulse.
This is
Yeah.
insane.
Let's have a rave in the Underdark, guys.
Can you tell that I'm a makeup artist by the fact that David was like, "Oh yeah, paint your face with it," and I'm like, "That's not a long-lasting product. It only glows for 10 minutes."
Long enough to make a couple TikToks.
My little shit brain is like, "What are you even talking about, you noob?"
Well, that's
Yeah,
fine.
David,
Because
you
what you
nerd.
do is every time you go and get a drink, they're just like, "Oh, do you like some more glowy stuff?" And they just like put it on your face.
That
Just
or you grind it
slap
and then
you
you
with
put
it.
it in oil so it's not reacting with the air and it glows for longer.
Ah, yeah.
Anywho,
Andrew knows.
you find this kind of this curving structure which loops around, and there's an outcropping of rocks nearby which has this quite enclosed space. It is still open to the degree where like you can see up into the expanse of the cavern, but it is fairly enclosed. While you guys are doing so, Markos, you notice
I do.
Dude.
I notice everything.
kind of
Yeah.
up, like coming
At
up the
one
back
point
of
of perception more than
Ashura's collar, across like the back of his neck, the normally like darkish bluish skin has like a patch of like pale white.
What?
Wait. Is the hair growing back?
No, this is like the back of your neck.
Excuse
It's
me?
white,
It's
white
like your
skin.
skin.
Like coming up from the back of your collar, like half up the back of his neck, is like white skin.
So does it look like... I forget the name of the condition that makes you lose your skin pigment. Does it
Vitiligo?
look- That's the one. Does it look like vitiligo, or does it look more like scar tissue, or does it look more just like, I don't know, like a bit of paint?
More like vitiligo.
Interesting.
Why is
I
it
won't
always
mention it.
me with fucking curses?
Alrighty. Back at Camp Hemlock.
Yeah.
French, damn it.
See, is it because I'm French?
Yeah, I get all the curses. God damn it. I get
Slowly
Have I
but
seen
surely.
Ashura...
Ashura
Has
converts to
Markos-
surrender.
Oh my gosh, you've seen Ashura topless before to get like a good look at his
He
back.
He
and stuff.
did.
Yeah,
We went to the bathhouse together. We
I mean,
all went
and also at the mansion, he's just
Ashura's topless all the time.
he's
You walk
topless
in a
all the time,
towel,
open shirt. Yeah, he's walking
like a towel tie.
Yeah.
He's bold.
Right. That's new. Then that pale
You
patch
haven't-
is new.
You haven't seen that before, yeah.
Ooh.
No, Ashura, are your arms exposed?
My arms are not exposed. I have my blue dark vest, and my hands are not exposed because I have my gauntlets. Nothing apart from my head is exposed.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Nute and Marigold. As you guys are chilling, Marigold, you notice. Nute, what color are your eyes?
If you give me just one moment, I am almost certain I have this down somewhere. Blue. They are blue eyes.
Your eyes. Marigold, for a second you think that the lighting is just strange, but there's a strange wait a minute, and you look a little closer. Nute has green eyes.
What's happening?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's okay.
Okay.
To our Underdark peeps.
Being
Yeah.
I'm like, my brain is
My brain.
firing, and I'm like, being the person here who is probably most familiar with the Fae, does this ring any bells? Does this feel weird? Any
Go
weird, like,
ahead.
transformation magic?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Clean. Jordan, what's happening to us?
Oh, sorry, I think
Fucking
my
fine.
internet
Why-
is bugging.
Alex, I have
No.
-1 in. Why are you asking me?
Wait, IRL? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I
Because
stutter?
you said Alex.
Sorry, my internet bugged for a sec there. Was
Did
that
we
an
become, like-
Arcana check?
Arcana.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. Do we become like Irish people, just like white skin, green eyes.
Green eyes, ginger hair.
Ginger hair. Whenever we go back to the Underdark, we're all just Irish.
That's an 18.
An 18. Looking at these, like, this very minor, like, cosmetic change in Nute, the first thing that strikes you is it kind of brings out the green in the grass of his beard. But also, in the Fae, there are sometimes regions where intense, chaotic energy and magic can induce changes. And from the conversations of what Hemlock and Ashura mentioned, this does appear to be a place where there are some anomalies in magic.
It's shit.
While you're considering that and kind of absentmindedly stroking Willow, as you like glance down, Willow has like a dark stripe of fur.
Oh.
Like going from like the top of his nose over the top of his head and then down like halfway down his back is like a few inches wide streak of black fur.
He's got a racing stripe.
Willow's got a racing stripe.
Either that or he's turning into a badger.
Yeah. Or Wolverine, something close.
Giant badger.
He needed a claw attack, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. the rabbit mount needed a claw attack, of course. Andrew.
He's becoming a badger. Okay. Cool. Everybody's changing.
We're all
and
changing.
I don't feel a thing.
I don't feel the same.
It's you need to embody chaotic energy. You need to, so.
Hemlock.
Yes.
You are taking a bit of time to dig through a couple very large demons.
Yes.
The Bulgara is a large creature. The Gristor is a huge creature. These are chunky boys. So unless you want to spend like gargantuan autopsy level amounts of time.
Oh no.
What are you seeking?
I just wanna I think that was my go-to. If I can get to hearts, that would be very cool. I would like to try and get blood.
Blood is, I'll give you for free.
Yeah.
There is blood everywhere. The Gristor is still oozing from its various wounds across its form.
Yeah.
There is ichor aplenty.
But yeah, if I can get to hearts, then that would be sick.
Pick up the weird tentacles as well.
I can ever grab a weird tentacle if there's one around.
The tentacles, like, they were big enough to be wielded as a weapon by a huge gorilla.
Okay, yeah, I can't carry it.
But they are massive. There are also like the head, it does have like the massive curling horns. The horns do have some bands of jewelry, like bands of like brass, kind of wrapped around the horns and laid in with like much as like bashes and shapes. It does have a big fuck off nose ring as well. Go ahead and make a medicine check for me.
Nute help with this.
Yes.
Basically, just like an assistant, like handing equipment as is needed.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Holding things where it needs to as well.
That is a 25.
25, hell yeah. You begin carving through this creature, and it is weird.
Yeah.
The anatomy is fucked. Like, as you carve through, and you essentially have to dig underneath the rib cage, and you find shit that shouldn't be there. Mm-hmm. Stuff is not in the right order. As you go in through what would be the abdominal wall and head up towards where would be the inside of the thorax and the heart, there is a hand.
Oh.
Just like a humanoid hand. Just like half growing out of a lung.
Oh god.
And it kind of like flexes. It doesn't grab at you, but it like twitches slightly. You keep pushing up towards the heart, and just like you, as you slice through a section of like just ligaments and muscle, just like half of a squid seems to fall out, still connected. Just a mass of like pale and mottled brown tentacles. Just
is this a fucking mind flayer Garistro?
You, You get to the heart itself, and you wonder what you've hit for a second because it's hard. And as you essentially, this thing is massive. It's like 15 feet tall. You are half crawling into this thing to get to this place.
That's familiar, Riona.
Yeah.
Are you tauntaunting this to get to the heart? Because that's how deep it is inside this chest.
Fuck it! I did it in VTM. I'll do it now.
Okay.
Needs helping as well.
No one in this party has precipitation anymore. Please.
No.
Nope.
There's a pond just a few feet away.
A pond.
That's where the demons came out.
And the Hemlock cleaned it.
I closed
Blood
it.
and pond water. Very Hemlock vibes.
You get horribly filthy. And there are moments where, as you're like pushing into this space, where you do feel things grab at you.
Oh.
But you get to this large heart. Except half of it seems to be encased in like a crustacean-like shell.
What the fuck?
Like it's like a crab.
What is
You see
happening?
like multiple pipes. You see like multiple like blood vessels coming out of it, over one half of it, and on the other half, it looks like a regular heart, which is why you're fairly sure this is probably what it looks like. Because you can see like a large aorta in multiple parts with fibrous muscle.
Is this the Garistro or the Bulgura?
This is the Garistro.
The Garistro.
As you begin cutting away at these blood vessels to extract this thing, which is maybe the size of like a big
American football.
Slightly bigger than like a rugby ball.
Like a watermelon?
Okay.
Watermelon size. Yeah.
A large watermelon.
A large watermelon.
As you cut it though, some of the muscular fiber like pulls apart, and you see just like 1, 2, 5 eyes just blink at you.
No.
Why does it have eyes in its heart?
I don't like that
What's
at
it with
all.
Andrew? Just like Cronenbergian body horror.
It's gonna strap legs and run
You're
away,
also
you'll see.
seeing a demon.
I know, but like,
Damn.
I'm not convinced that this is normal even for a demon. Like,
Right?
It looks like a giant bat crossed with a ginger gorilla. I didn't expect it to have a crab for a heart.
No. I'm just expecting now to just grab legs and run away. Like the heart is it's just alive. It's just another
But
entity.
you do have a Garistro heart.
okay.
You are
Right.
covered in fluid and
Oh,
blood.
don't say fluid.
Ah, damn.
I mean, I'm doing the same with the Bulgura. Like,
You're in the zone. I'll give it to you. You slide this one. This one is like the size of an actual gorilla, and is much easier to get in and deal with. And you end up with this one is less utterly fucked. As you begin dissecting through this, you don't find parts from the wrong creatures. You do find it does have like a double layered rib cage.
Ooh.
It has like beneath the first set of ribs, there's like a second rib cage that has like barbs and hooks, which you can only assume would make breathing horrifically painful.
Yeah.
But within the side of that, and you push aside, there's only one lung, which fills like the whole back half of it, which is really fucked up and weird. But you do find this kind of central, like it looks like if a heart grew another heart,
Ew.
and had blood vessels coming out the bottom rather than the top. But no eyes open on this one, so
Thanks
that's
for
fun.
that.
Yay.
Right, I've
That's
currently got 3 hearts on my person that aren't my own.
Damn.
So
One
that's
in,
correct.
one in you. One in your person.
One in me, and then I've got a hag heart, a Garistro heart, and a Bulgura heart.
You have one more heart as well.
Yeah, just in case you want
That was very sweet.
This is like
Hey, we're getting a heart of a Zaratan. This is just good practice for you removing
Yeah,
hearts.
exactly. I'm getting
Yeah.
heart removal practice.
Yeah.
Super transferable skills. Newt, as you're
He's
helping
going after a
Hemlock,
Zaratan.
as you're helping Hemlock get through this, and like you reach a point where you're just so covered in filth and blood and gore that you just dive in. Like you've passed the point of caring.
I also love the idea that Marigold is just like stood on the sidelines watching this happen.
You're
She's
very
just
much
stood
the
there like,
mom.
huh.
we're
You're
definitely
very
like
much the mom waiting for the soccer game to finish. You just
It's like, I can just imagine, like, yes, kids, you have fun, and
Yeah.
like,
you're doing your thing. They
She's
crazy
just
those
stood there
kids.
like like thinking about the Fae and why people's things are changing. Like,
so there's definitely one point when Nute remembers that Hope isn't here, so we don't have a prestidigitation. It just pops up. It's like, hey, Marigold, do you know that? Do you know that cleaning spell by any chance?
No.
Huh.
As you glance back with this being shot down, the idea of Hemlock being magically cleaned, you see that kind of excited, bright look on Hemlock's face.
Aww.
It's like a sparkling in the eyes and a glow to the cheeks. Wait, no, on one cheek. Just underneath that shelf of fungus is like a soft blue glow. And as she like pulls her head out from inside this creature, you realize there's like a couple inches of like thin, like lace-like veil dangling from this shelf that kind of caresses the side of her cheek that is glowing a soft blue.
Oh my god!
Oh,
would I?
We need. Thank you,
Heckin
Viv.
Would I also notice Nute's eyes at this point as well? Okay.
Yes. Like as you guys are kind of like all together as a little three, you begin to notice that both Nute and Hemlock and Willow have these small changes. But roughly by this point, I'll say Markos and Nute, Ashura, you can easily make your way back.
Yeah. Cool. We return to see Marigold stood there horrified as Nute and Hemlock are basically just splashing around in a paddling pool made out of demon guts.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the case.
I like that we arrived and we just see Marigold and we're like, where? And we just see the head of Hemlock just. And we're like,
yeah. That's sort of normal, I suppose.
Just a heads up, don't eat it. It's not great.
I wasn't
No one's
planning
gonna
on
eat
that.
it.
I was far from doing anything close to it.
Okay.
I just thank God that neither of you are wearing white.
Oh yes.
It also smells like a tire fire because gross demon guts smell like burning plastic.
Once everything is done, I will on like the pair of start Hemlock's decaying grasp on the two bodies and start them decomposing.
Please.
They just begin kind of melting.
Yeah.
Everything begins to melt. You do notice, however, the bone structure doesn't. It seems to be resisting it somehow. So while the flesh itself seems to just ooze, and it seems like it's very malleable flesh. A lot of sloughing going on. But the flesh seems to be very open to being warped. And so as your decaying grasp begins to lean into that process, it seems to go fairly quickly. You very quickly see, however, as like the eyes begin to puddle and vanish and the flesh curls away, this massive skull remains of this like pig-like head with the curling horns, the jewelry still intact. The ring falls away and clanks onto the ground, like roughly the size of a bracelet for a human.
That makes me excite.
Sure.
Two things.
Bone bracelet.
Yes, that's a new bracelet for me. First of all, can Ashura go next to the crystals, take out the sword and try to like chip like a bit of it with my
I was gonna ask you.
Gonna do that?
I was gonna ask you to see if you could. So yeah.
Nice.
It is easy enough.
Great minds.
It is very much easy enough to do.
Like have like good parts, like good chunks.
Like aside, you don't even need the sword. Massive Marigold hurled a chunk that shattered on the Garisters. There are like perfect like fist-sized chunks littering the ground.
Yeah, great. I'm gonna take a few.
Massive gold.
Go for it. You add chunks of phase shard.
Phase shard.
Considering how much chaos magic is going around, please don't put those in the bag of holding because
God no.
Do it.
For the love of God, do not put them in the bag of holding.
That sounds like a good call from you, Merrick. That sounds like a very good call. I was going to, but that's a good call. And second point of order, I like to go to the bones of the Garistro. So you said jewelry, so I'm interested in that.
Yeah, so it essentially has.
It's free jewelry. Okay,
it's got like gold filigree on its horns, right?
Yeah, it's got like bands of like brass around its horns that remains, and it like to call it engraving would be generous.
Yeah.
It's got like bashed out shapes and symbols and stuff. Lots of black grime like at the edges where it's like leans into the horn underneath. There's the nose ring itself.
The ring itself.
There's like a couple of rings of like spikes around some of the horns as well. They are all covered in red muscular flesh. Blood is caked underneath from where they sunk them deep into a giant gorilla.
I'll just how hard would it does it seem to just try to take out one of the horns? I'm sure it's pretty hard, but
it would be more a case of cutting the horn off, which
Yeah.
would be like a long time of sawing. Chopping a horn off with like a blade would take a very long time again, with quite a shoddy result. And the skull itself, creature that big, head would be this wide, so horns to about here.
Yeah.
It big.
Yeah.
It's not fitting. It's not fitting in the bag of holding.
It's not fitting in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
You could hide it somewhere and get it on the way out, maybe.
I had an idea of an item to make with one of the horns.
If you wanted to like just try and brute force break the skull away from one of the horns,
Yeah,
it would take
I'll
a
try to do
while.
that.
I'd say if you wanted to spend like the 2 hours of your long rest doing that,
Because how far are we from the alcove?
short walk.
Okay, cool. I'll just take the skull and just bring it.
Okay. It's very difficult and uncomfortable and heavy, but it's easy enough to do without a check or anything. It just takes
19 strength.
yeah.
Tim, by the way,
Yeah. What's up?
Yes.
Ashura and I, he's dragging a skull over there right now, but we found a good place to camp. Do you want to go check it out? Hemlock,
yes,
Nute,
yes,
you should probably get that blood off of you.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it? Can we
I
go
can-
in the pool or?
I mean, I could.
Well, let's
throw
find
a
out. And he's just
tidal-
gonna jump in.
I could,
Oh,
I could throw a tidal wave over you if you want.
Hemlock just kind of stands a little bit back from you and like does this, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
That was
I'll
perfect.
He runs back and joins
I'll
in.
cast- So if you guys are standing like next to each other, I'll
Yeah.
just make it like a 10 feet wide tidal wave,
Perfect.
and I will make it gentle so it doesn't do bludgeoning damage.
Easy enough
But
to,
like,
to pull back on the force.
but yeah,
Hell
just like,
yeah.
like
That was funny.
Wait.
I'm like, Nute just like, I'll check. Splash.
Oh,
and
no.
Nute, the water is. It's not nice. The water itself seems fairly clear, but the ground at the base of it is still horribly thick sludge. Like you're not sure if like it's water for like maybe 2
But
or
you
3
don't
feet,
think it-
and then it's like sludge, and you don't know if you hit a bottom or if it's just sludge for forever. And you manage to like scramble your way out back to the side and dash back into the
Yeah.
way just in time to catch a. It's like water park to the big bucket that fills with water and jumps on it.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's just that. It's exactly that.
Nice.
The water like flows out across the stone and trickles back into this pool and cleans away an amount of the blood and the gore that is staining the ground all across this little opening. But you guys are
Oh,
like
Cleanish.
cleanish. Like that, you've got demon guts under your
All of-
nails and in
at
your
least
clothes.
all of
but,
like the chunks are washed off.
obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big chunk. The big chunk.
Yeah.
My nice smart clothes are probably going to need to get thrown away, but like we know a tailor.
yeah.
It's true, we do.
You do.
We know a very good clothier.
You're on the job right now. Aesthetics. Not
Yeah.
necessarily the most important at all times.
What? I'm sorry. What? Aesthetics? Not important. I do not get it, but okay. Sure.
Notice how I did all my bloody work in a form where my clothes couldn't get stained.
I
That's
saw
how I
that.
did
Very
it.
proud. of you. Respect.
Bloody work from
Yeah.
40 feet away.
I'm used to it.
I feel like Marigold and Ashura have very different reasons for not wanting to get themselves messy. Like Ashura obviously just wants to be fabulous, and Marigold
Yes.
is just a mum, so she's like, I don't want to wash blood stains out of my clothes. Do you have any idea how hard that is?
It's
Yeah.
hard, and this is demon blood, so it stains even worse.
I mean, you're talking to a druid who like spat mind flayer viscera out of her
Yeah. Oh, you
mouth.
did do
Like
That's right.
I'm used to it. Like,
yeah. We know you used to it. That's why we're scared. You know?
Are you guys
we good.
finding this humor around as you head back to this alcove
Yes.
and begin?
Yeah.
Cool. While you do so, the rest of you notice each other's small changes. You notice the fact that Ashura has this kind of patch of like pale vitiligo up the back of his neck. That Nute has green eyes. The Hemlock's face is glowing slightly. The Willow has this dark streak of fur.
Does Markos and Marigold have anything visually up with them?
They do not seem to have any changes that you have seen so far.
Mm-hmm. I'll make sure to kind of point out to everyone, like, you know, like, hey, Ashura, you've got a thing on the back of your neck.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
A bit of a white spot.
You don't feel anything.
It looks like like a scar, or I don't know. The skin is a
like
different
a
shade.
patch. Yeah.
I don't remember having anything there. Well, to be fair, I don't really know what my back looks like. But
Also, Nute, your eyes have changed color.
did it?
They're green now.
Yeah. What color were they before? I don't feel like I've.
They were blue before.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm too.
And Willow has a
never
little
noticed.
stripe on
He
his back.
does.
What is happening, you guys? And why are you glowing? I felt like, is this the same thing? I feel like it was the blood.
I'm what?
Oh,
Sorry?
wait, you
Kind
can
of
see the glowing
glowing.
too?
Oh.
But,
Under your mushroom.
Oh.
but it felt like maybe it was the blood, or maybe the crystal nearby, or the crystal
Well,
nearby.
I did have a bit of a think because appearance changing magic is not uncommon in the Feywild, and
Right.
it seems like with the crystals and such, there's a lot of sort of chaotic magic floating around right now. So it might be something to do with that, especially after the sort of glitch with Hemlock's healing spell.
Yes, I'm really sorry about that, Ashura. I didn't mean to.
It was a joke. I do not mind.
Okay.
Like, it's fine. Nothing to be apologizing for.
Yeah, there's some chaotic magic around, and I think it might be affecting us.
Just be glad that it's only making cosmetic differences and not.
No, it's very important, Markos. What are you talking about? The white spot on my back? That's just. No. Okay, I'm purple all around. I should be purple all around. The white spot is just like, is it symmetrical?
Is it symmetrical?
If you're just looking at this top at the back of the neck, it appears to be roughly symmetrical. Yeah.
Yes, it's fairly central and even.
Okay. We'll check the rest of the back just when we set up, because I do not. If it's not symmetrical, we have a problem here. DM.
Hello.
Because we talked about the phase crystal being a thing. Does Ashura knows that it's a common occurrence to have like weird stuff happening around them?
You're aware that it can get weird.
Okay, yeah.
That's essentially the limit of that, and that's kind of taking into account your Arcana check from earlier.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, like it gets weird.
It's weird.
Yeah,
I guess
seen this exact thing before, but like
yeah.
when it gets windy, be careful. Is essentially the case.
I'm pretty sure Marigold is on the case here. It must be the crystal. They do weird shit sometimes. So nothing to worry about, except if it's not symmetrical. But yeah.
I mean, at worst, you might be able to get like a purple tattoo over it. I mean, at least it is a lighter shade, you know?
Right.
If I just got a sudden patch of purple on me, there is not a lot I could do. But at least with you can tattoo.
Wait, now I'm thinking I
Sure,
should get.
Don't you know illusion magic anyway? Can't you just like?
Yeah, no, I can, obviously, but but there is a point
So
in
you
it.
put together like firewood and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll set up some food and some tea for people.
Cool.
I'm gonna do like a dancing lights, so there's little like light butterflies floating around.
Beautiful.
Oh, can we put up Hope's bunting?
Ah,
Yeah,
yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
put up
100%.
Hope's bunting.
Are you
That's a
doing
good
a full
idea.
tent, or are you going to like bedrolls?
No, full 10.
Do
We'll
we
do a
want to
full
go
10.
for the?
Do we want to do full 10?
We've had a long day.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got
We
we
deserve a tent.
we're not on the clock. I mean, like we have time. There's no reason for us to rush. Apart from the end of the world and maybe people starting to get the heart of Datson, but that's another thing. Let's just take it breezy. It's not a word, but you know.
Well, we've got time to put up a tent. We can put up a tent.
Yeah, I feel like we should.
You put up a tent.
Yeah. Trying to make the fire quickly because there's Hemlock and Nute just wet.
Yes.
Wet.
So,
We're very damp.
yeah, so.
You are very damp.
Oh
And
no,
it takes
Ashura,
a minute.
it's fine. I'm gonna stand right next to Ashura and just shake violently.
Well,
You see,
you,
we're like,
you can
trying- we're
also,
like a,
you
Nute,
can also warm yourself up.
Yeah, you've got your
I
hot
know.
tattoos.
I know.
I
You will
love
do
that.
that
Just trying,
after
like
shaking
everyone's
violently.
trying to do it. Just trying to do the fire and just like getting the water and just be like, I hate you. So much. It's not so much.
As you guys begin to get your food in, you get some food in you, have a bit of a drink, get your bedrolls out. Is there anything you guys would like to do before getting your long rest? Would you like to take watches, things like that?
Yeah, I'll take a watch.
Watches would be a good idea, yeah.
I'll take first watch because my dark vision runs out
Okay.
very soon.
Yeah.
Unless
It's
we've been
dark
underground
anyway.
for more than 8 hours, in which case it's definitely run out.
Your dark vision actually is not that helpful here. Because the distances grow quite long, 60 feet isn't very far. However, the amount of glowing mushrooms and these phase crystals that do still have this kind of whitish glow to them, they do illuminate the space space around you to a decent enough degree where there's very little case of like areas of this place will be utterly pitch black. This area is not, and so you can see. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Marcos, worst case, I can take your watch. It's fine. I can see plenty well in the dark
Yeah.
here, so
I can,
and I don't have
can
to
take
take
the
as much as you guys do, so
Me
I can
too.
do two.
I'll sit up for a bit with one of you then.
Yeah, I'll stay up with you, Marcos.
Yeah,
All right.
yes, that'll be nice.
Could we get a perception? I mean, is there anything else you guys would like to do as you guys settle down before the night?
No, I'll do my thing with the horn while during one of my watches.
Perfect. Then can I get a
oh,
perception check?
At some point,
Yep.
Nute will have like just a brief chat with Marigold, mostly being like, "Yo, those punches when you were in Great A form, fucking love that shit."
Sick.
Like he's
Yeah.
so goddamn
Sick, bro.
like happy and proud to see how well it went as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
teach her some martial art for like when she's a big gorilla.
When she's in. Oh my god.
Yes. Like judo moves.
Ape monk.
Giant ape stunning strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'll while we're on watch, I'll have just nice chats with Marcos and yeah, David. I have done mushroom catch up, so if we wanna
Excellent.
chat about that, then yes, we can do that.
So we should do the perception check, I guess, first, right?
Yeah.
As part of, yeah.
Do you wanna do it? Shall I do it? Should we both do it?
What's yours?
Plus 13, I think.
Oh, yours is higher. You take advantage.
Plus 11.
Yeah, mine is plus 9, so yeah, you take advantage. We both got very high, but yours is higher, so.
Cool. A natural 1 and a natural 20.
Oh shit!
The duality.
Watching
Wow.
out across the black, the first couple of hours pass pretty uneventfully. The wind stays relatively low, which, even though you've only been here for a short time, gives you a little bit of comfort. You do notice about halfway through, almost completely uniformly black and indistinguishable against the expanse of the cavern above, there is like a manta ray-like shape that goes overhead.
Oh.
That would be cool if it wasn't what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Now you're like,
Marcos
no.
doesn't.
I don't know what it is, so I'm just like, it's
That was
cool.
pretty.
Such fascinating wildlife down here.
Definitely.
Not to mention those mushroom people.
Yes.
You were a little quiet when we traveled through. I assume you were just stunned, but
Yeah.
that was something, huh?
It really was. Yeah, I know. After what happened the last time we were in the Gordark, I didn't quite know what to expect, but it wasn't that.
Well, those fun guys. I'm sorry. At least they were just trying to look out for themselves, I believe.
They
Whereas last time, whoever was trying to... Look, don't get me wrong, I want you to learn and understand, obviously, about your own connections to mycology. But, there was something not right about being drawn towards that portal.
I know. It's just strange, like, being there and being here as well feels so new and yet familiar at the same time. I was almost able to speak with the other mushrooms when we were walking through, and it was like, you know, nothing I'd ever seen before. It was bigger than anything I ever could have imagined, and just so in harmony with everything. And I felt so small walking through there compared to everything. The Bonyari that was helping us through seemed like the big one that was walking. Yes, like this, and I kind of brushed the veil.
Yes, that is new.
Yeah, them seemed like they understood me, and it felt in a good way rather than in the way last time.
Interesting. Nature often makes me feel small as well.
Yeah.
It is somewhat humbling to know that you're just a piece of a larger whole.
Although, to be, there and be me, seeing them in their big network and then just having my own was a bit lonely, I suppose. I don't know. I like being how I am, but seeing that connection, that harmony that they had with everything was just like nothing I ever could have imagined.
It was like one creature that filled an entire cavern.
Yeah. It was.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Did you... Well, yeah, I mean, the visions, and I know you didn't really, but...
No, the thankfully, my armor kept me...
Yeah.
Resistant to the toxins they used to knock us out, but... Yeah, that was something.
Definitely. Hope we get to go back.
If we make it to our destination, I don't think we'll be returning the way we came.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
When I know a bit more.
There are still answers to be found with that previous encounter, too. Whatever was through that portal.
Yeah.
But next time we go prepared. You're not going in there on your own.
Thank you.
Alrighty. The rest of the watch passes peacefully. Who do you wake up next?
Ashura next?
Ashura?
Sure. I'll wake up. I mean, I guess I wasn't really sleeping. I'll sleep for the 4 hours next.
Alrighty. Anyone joining Ashura?
I'm alone. It's fine.
We still have 2 more watches to do after this, buddy, and there's 2 of us
Yeah,
left.
and you need I can do.
Sorry,
4
bro.
hours. I can do 4 hours. That's fine.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make a perception check then for me, Ashura.
Yeah. I'll just ask.
Go ahead.
I'll just ask the Markos and Hemlock right before they've seen anything?
Nothing that
There was
stopped by. There was a thing
No.
that flew over the top.
It seems not to notice us or not to care.
I'm guessing Ashura knows about it, Andrew, so I will react as if he does.
Yeah, cloakers can be dangerous, but
Yeah.
They-
How far? Just far, right?
Right up the top of the cavern.
Okay, I'll just keep a look, I guess. If I scream in despair, just wake up.
I will try.
Thank you.
If I feel like it.
It depends how convincing your scream is.
Mm.
I
Really?
see. Yeah, I'll try. Yeah.
Add some drama.
You know me. Okay. Cool. I'll take 2 watches then. Andrew.
Okay. 2 in the middle. Go ahead and make a perception for you.
And just check. So I roll 2 perception checks. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll just give her like a precise look to the cloaker.
Sure.
More. So I have a lot in perception. That's 27 and a 17.
27 and 17.
Yeah, first one 27,
For the
second one
first
17.
For the first half of the watch, you keep pretty diligent eye out. And although this cavern is much, much larger than 120 feet, you do keep a pretty good level of awareness throughout that first half. You're fairly sure that nothing major comes near. The wind calms down a little more, and the rain, wherever that was coming from, has completely subsided now. Later on, even though you've rested a little bit already, the length of the day that you'd had, you begin to lose your focus a little bit. As you're beginning to kind of consider who to wake up, there is a tap on your shoulder.
Yes.
As you turn, you see cross-legged, right behind you, in traditional black leather armor, with silver hair and 2 kind of space buns at the top, and then a long portion going down the back, a drow woman. Cross-legged, with an excitable look on her face. So who are you? Why are you here?
Hello.
Who are these people?
Hi. Hey. I am. Who are you? Hi. I'm so. Wow. And I'm obviously talking in Elvish.
Yeah.
Or like in Korean.
Serato, sorry.
Serato.
She kind of stands and kind of does like the more formal bow, greeting, and
Yeah.
Serato of the Moroyo Tokuweka.
Okay. All right. I do not know that name. Do I?
No, you do not know that name.
Serrano of the Motoko.
Serato.
Serato.
And I think picking up with that conversation as it continues is a good point to pick up after a short break. So, as the rest of the Soulguard rests, let's take ourselves out of this and have a little rest briefly for ourselves. We're going to pop off for half an hour or so. So, thank you so much for you amazing, wonderful people being with us for this little adventure and for being so supportive in the chat with all the follows and subs and points and stuff.
So wholesome.
Been amazing.
Today.
Amazing.
You guys were the best.
You guys are so cute.
You guys are so cool. And yeah, if you've come and you're new, welcome. If you're having fun, great. If you have come before and you're having fun, also great. So we're going to pop off for about half an hour. So get yourselves a drink, get yourselves some snacks and things.
We're all going to go pee.
Yes.
That's definitely something that I really need
Trying
to
to
do
hide
right
us.
now.
After all of those hydrations.
Oh, Will, thank you for the gifted tier 2 sub.
Wow.
Tier 2.
So lovely.
Congratulations to
That's like double tier 1.
Ubulon.
Ubulon.
Thank you.
You got
It's
it.
Oibulon, like Euler.
Oibulon.
Oibulon, yeah.
Babylon. Nice. That's so. You guys are so cool. Well, we're going to be back here at about 9:10. So take this time, rest your eyes if you need, get drinks and stuff, and we'll be back here in just a little bit with some more D&D. So
take a short rest.
With that, go and take a short. Oh, that should be like the ending line of all of our short breaks. Like, go take a short rest.
Yeah, go roll some hit die.
And then we. Oh, yeah, that's great.
Not bad one.
All right, okay, let's do that, and then Jordan, you take us out, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Go get a drink, go get a snack, roll some hit dice, and take a short rest. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes.
See you soon.
Was that good?
Characters definitely had like a pixie dick by the end.
Hello, everyone.
And
Hello, everybody.
I don't know how it happened. Oh, hi. Are we live?
We are indeed. Oh, and a hydrate immediately.
I server muted Alex. Fuck you.
Marigold casts silence on Ashura.
You see, that's great, Meg, but the thing is, the stream can still... Oh, no, wait, they can't!
They can't. I'm the producer, baby!
I unmuted myself. That's
protected.
Boom. No.
Right, we got another hydrate.
No.
Fuck's sake. We all just peed, guys.
Just take
We
the
literally
smallest
just got
sip.
back from the
I just switched
bathroom.
to Diet Coke. If they're gonna rehydrate, I'm gonna start burping my way through this fucking monologue.
Tal is on the. He's there, you know. He's just
Tal
boom.
wants us to hydrate
Making sure
They're ready.
it's just
So on it.
two.
All right.
Well.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back here
Hi.
to Chasing Tales. We're gonna carry on playing some D&D. I hope you guys had a nice break. We all used the bathroom, got some drinks. I ate some chips. I had some sensations and some sour cream and chive. It was lovely.
I had some beans.
Lovely.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, David. You just ate some beans.
I did. I'm full
What
of beans.
kind of beans?
Baked,
That's so
Baked.
fucking English.
but then
Oh my
microwaved.
God.
You just microwaved some baked beans.
Yeah, and toast. I didn't microwave the
Oh,
toast.
okay.
Toast.
I was fully convinced you just ate like a bowl
Hey.
of beans.
No joke.
I've
You can
eaten
do
I've
that.
eaten a tin of baked
I've
beans
done that
cold,
before.
straight out of the tin,
Oh,
and
cold.
I did
There
not
are
regret
worse-
the moment.
There are
nasty.
worse things to do. I will
Yeah.
side with David on this one. Like, it's not the
This was
best.
so
thing,
cliche.
but-
This was so cliche. Beans on toast.
But you
It's
know,
as if I was, yeah.
We're
it's
British,
as if I was-
love.
No, I know, but it's as if I was telling you to eat
myself
baguette
on nothing
and
but
cheese
some bread.
for fucking dinner. Which
I'll have a chip sandwich.
Yes, it's like he had.
Carbs
It's like
plus
if a
bread.
Frenchman like Alex were to have garlic and camembert and a baguette
yeah.
with a glass of
Yeah.
wine.
I do swear
Which is
to God, you have eaten on stream, which has just been like a baguette and camembert. Like you
Yeah.
can't talk.
Alex has fully done that.
So-
I mean, we
While-
played a game once where Alex
The
got
old
way
mucker.
too excited about a cheese board, so.
I saw a TikTok today or yesterday. I don't have
Okay.
TikTok. Just gonna put that out there. I'm not a Zoomer. I'm a
Nice.
millennial.
Nice.
I
Dude,
saw a
fucking
TikTok
amazing.
where there was a guy and he was eating a Lunchable, and
Yeah.
and he was like,
I know
I
the
wish
one.
there were like
I
adult
know the one.
Lunchables. And whoever was, I'm assuming it was his girlfriend, was just like,
Oh,
that's just a charcuterie board.
like,
An adult Lunchable is just a charcuterie board. Lunchables are just child charcuterie boards.
definitely.
The best part is that they then took the Lunchables and set it out on the board as if it was one, and it was like,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
feel like I'm sitting here, and there's like a water wheel going by, and I'm like trying to time my jump in to like jump and grab onto the slat so I can get going and stuff.
You can't
As
take the reins in this
conversation-
conversation, Andrew.
Yeah, the
We're
conversation
full
just
chaos
goes in
crew.
circles. The conversation just goes in these fucking
They have
journeys.
no
And I'm like,
power
where
here.
can I? Where can I grab? No, not
But
yet.
actually,
no.
you don't know yet. But you know,
Mm.
the 17 people watching the stream, 18 now.
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
Yeah, 18. They're just here for the shenanigans before the stream. They do not care about the D&D story. They just care
They're,
about
they're here
us.
for our charcuterie board discourse.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay. This is a masterclass in charcuterie board, and we'll talk about it for 2 hours. Okay. So that's it. That's the water wheel.
Where we left off, Ashura was keeping watch.
Go on. I'm actually excited to know what's happening.
Yeah, let's do it.
As the rest of you all rest inside your tent, set up in this little alcove within the rocks, but in this massive cavern, the glowing light of glowing crystals and luminescent mushrooms around, creating this strange and alien landscape. Similar to being in like a city at night, where orange soft lighting glares at you from above, but blackness reigns above from a night sky. A soft wind now blows, cooler and a little bit slower, and softer than the gales that harried you before. Markos and Hemlock, you guys kept watch to begin with, spotting nothing other than some passing wildlife. But Ashura, as you keep watch, in the second half, several hours in, a tap on your shoulder. As you turn, you see a fully armored drow soldier, immediately recognizable to you as a member of the Takuaka, the drow scouts that range and patrol outside of Hakuri settlements. She's got like mid to shoulder length hair, which descends down with two space buns, bringing an amount of the volume out and making sure it's out of her face. You can see kind of at her hip is a leather sling, kind of tucked in a little holder, and a short sword on the opposite hip. As she sits kind of cross-legged, immediately jumping to her feet and then bowing to you as she introduces herself as Serota. She has a Japanese accent. I'm not going to do the Japanese accent because...
Yeah.
So I will just speak in a slightly higher pitched voice, but just imagine, you use the power of your mind palace.
Well, I mean, I guess we're talking Elvish, so...
Yeah, yes, exactly.
So
we will talk like this, but they're speaking Elvish in a Japanese accent.
Exactly.
So.
Andrew, my palace is currently closed for renovations. Is there an alternative that I can use?
Subtitles. Markos, yes.
It's the English
Is it
dub.
actually Elvish or is it Drow?
This
think
is...
Or Hakuri?
So, Hakuri is a language in the sense that it is a dialect of Mangold, Elvish, Dwarvish, and Gnomish.
Dating back from 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not like how in Forgotten Realms you have Elvish and Drow.
In the Forgotten Realms, you have Elvish and Undercommon.
You have Drow as well. There is
There
a
is
Drow.
also a drow.
Wait,
No,
is
yeah.
Drow's a
Yeah.
language?
I've
Drow,
never
we're
seen
talking...
that. I don't...
Yeah.
I'm pressing
I
X
think
to
I'm
doubt,
right.
but I'm pressing X to doubt, but that's not important right now. She will speak to you in Elvish with small fragments of dialect which are taken from Dwarvish and Gnomish, but you understand that perfectly. That is your
Like Canadian
home
French and
language.
French people. I
Exactly,
don't understand
yeah.
French Canadian. It's just
yeah.
so fucking weird.
In 5e they don't have a Drow language, it's just Elvish.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So what are you doing here? Who are you?
What are you doing here? I feel like this is okay. Serato, right?
Seroto, yeah.
Yeah.
She stands up and kind of daintily kind of like hops onto like a section of rock, kind of walking around the tent slightly.
Which battalion are you with?
Morio Takuaka.
Okay. Well, you introduce yourself. So I'm Lieutenant Ashura Takahashi from the 2nd. So nice to meet you.
And you?
Well, I mean, are you alone? Are you lost? I feel like, did you leave your buddies? I feel like you shouldn't be alone, like here.
No,
I mean, scouts
I
are huge.
I was running a message back from an outpost a little bit further out, but spotted the bunting.
Yeah.
Don't see a lot of bunting out in.
No, that's fair. Yeah, you don't.
And
usually
also,
see
like,
them.
ethereal floating light butterflies.
Yeah.
Like, this.
Yeah.
Much more common than bunting.
Wait, so
Yes.
there is an outpost not far from here.
Yes, there's an outpost, and she kind of points off in a direction. Maybe
Yes, I remember that direction.
3 hours that way. But
Oh, that's
I
great
was
news.
heading from the outpost back to Morio,
Oh,
which is maybe
how far is Mario from here?
about 5 hours or so. It's mostly down. We're quite close to being above. Why are you? Who have you got with you? And she got like straight like goes up to the tent and just like pulls out her short sword and like pulls the doorway back, like standing back up but looking inside.
We've got all of us are like spooning.
I don't mind them. They're my friends. I just need to go back to see some people and what is that?
I like to imagine that the little spoon is not the littlest person in the party. Marigold
Oh,
is just
no.
jetpacking whoever's.
We do it in reverse order, so it goes Marigold, Nute, Markos, Hemlock.
Yes. We're a Wi-Fi signal bar.
Yeah.
And like Willow's tucked in there somewhere.
Yeah, of course. Uncomfortable for the person jetpacking because the antler's in the way. But
He's very soft though.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's a rabbit, and he's huge. I'm sure he's
that's a big rabbit. So, where are you from?
Well, actually, I'm from Mendo, so
Mando.
you know, Mendo Dash. So I feel like that's okay. So I'm not directly from here like right now. Like I'm from like I'm originally from Mendo Dash, and then I went to the surface, and then now I'm coming back.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like that's clear.
And what's with the travelers?
They just traveling with me, but it's fine. We'll just I know it's not very common, but we're just passing through the capital and we'll be out quickly.
You're going all the way to Mando?
Yeah.
All right.
Do you know if it's far from here? I'm not sure where we are.
Mando's far. Mando's maybe 2 weeks.
Damn.
By Steeder, if you have to take the right routes, a little bit harder on foot.
Damn it. I didn't think I was that far. Shit.
Mando's far. Morio is by far closest. Well, look, it looks like the rest of you have had a long day.
Yeah. Who's the commanding officer at the closest outpost? Do you know?
Oh, our commander here is Captain Shego Hosho. She's the captain of the Tokoika at Morio.
Okay. I don't know her. I don't think so. So anyway, maybe I won't be able to go back to Mendo. We're specifically looking for a portal for the Earth plane, kind of Earth. If you've heard anything close to it, close by, that'd be great.
I haven't personally. I've been doing the lateral sectors, but we've had some patrols head deeper down, so you could check with the reports from them.
That's a good idea. Okay. Well, Serapil, I'm very glad to meet you, and I'm very glad to see some of the kin. It has been a long time, so I'll go deliver the message and be careful.
Do you know how to get to Morio from here?
No, I was more planning to go to the outpost, and then maybe they can point me to the direction. But
I'm in no strict hurry right now. I can wait for a few hours and guide you and your friends.
I mean, that'd be great. Can I do an insight check quickly?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Thank you.
It's actually a devil.
I do not trust anyone. That's a 15.
The face peels back.
Yeah, 15 plus 4, 19.
19? She seems cautious. That there is definitely a layer of mistrust there to begin with. But she seems to be listening to your kind of shifting story and goals, and is on her guard, but seems willing to help if you are genuine.
Cool. Okay. Minor illusion is somatic and material. Okay, cool. Cool. Right. Well, sit down by the fire. I was gonna go to sleep anyway. I am starting to be completely knackered from the journey here. We encountered some devils and demons. Just the usual stuff. Any news from like the realm? What's been going on? Is everybody all right? Is any of the city standing? Any big news? I haven't been here in like a year and a half, maybe 2.
That's a year and a half.
Yeah, I think so. Is that right, DM? I think so. A year and a half.
Ashura looks up to the sky. Is that right? Is that?
That's
What sky?
Ashura.
They don't have time.
Ashura would not know, seeing as the Hakuri do not have clocks.
We've established
True.
this. The Hakuri don't own clocks.
Therefore, time no go.
No
That's why
time
they
has actually
invented
passed
Uniman.
since.
Ashura says he's been away for a year and a half, and she's like, "What's a year?"
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Half of it too. That's weird.
Nothing drastic in a year and a half.
Okay, good.
No massive changes.
Good.
All right. Well, you rest.
Yeah.
I'll float. But I'll be here when the rest of you stir.
That's a good idea. Maybe don't come until you see me. I feel like that's better for introduction.
You could also introduce me to the person that you wake to take the next watch.
That's a good idea too. And I'm gonna go into the den and just wake up Nute. Nute.
Hello.
Wake up. Yeah.
I'm up.
Hi.
I'm awake.
Yes. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. This is Serato.
Hi.
Just got passing by. Nice person. So don't be scared if you see her around. That's it.
All right.
What's your name?
Hi. I'm Nute.
Nute. Well, I'm Serato.
Pleasure.
I'm
Sorry. Long day.
apparently. Where are you from?
Well, more recently, up from the surface in Adigan, but originally it came up from Morio.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're close to Morio, by the way. We might pass
What?
there. Yeah, I should have started with that? I feel like we should.
Like, you see Newt go from like half asleep to just suddenly immediately wide awake. I was just
Yeah.
like, sorry, what?
Yeah. Yeah, Serato is saying that it's not too far from here, so we could he could show us the way.
Oh, that close, huh?
As you like widen your eyes, Newt, and kind of take in this person, you see this very young looking elf. Like very, very, very young looking elf. And her the black leather armor. As you take like a second, you recognize very quickly that this is the armor of the Takuka, and you don't recognize her, but the armor of the Takuka varies often from city to city in its exact design, and this does seem to be relatively familiar to you. Yes, I'm a scout for the Takuka, and I'm heading back to Morio, and Mr. Ashura here informed me that you're looking for a way to the plane of Earth.
We are indeed, yes.
Well, I think if we let the rest of your number rest, then I can probably guide you back to Morio, and we can see if we can get you on your way.
Yes, of course, yes. Please feel free to do what you please. You don't need to keep me entertained throughout this watch.
Cool. I'll go to sleep then, if that's all. Bye. Good night. And he's gonna go trance.
Good night, buddy.
Alrighty.
I've left a spot for you to slot in into the spoon.
Into the cuddle pile.
Let's go. It's a cuddle pal.
Which position was Newt in the cuddle pile?
Right in the middle.
Newt was bang in the middle, I think.
In between Marigold and Markos.
Cool.
Question
Nice.
for the DM.
Hello.
I forgot to ask you, but would it be possible that during my watch, Ashura was just like slowly grinding onto the horn to just take it out? Or you can't really look around and do that at the same time, can you?
Yeah, like that's like focusing on a task, and like the diameter of the horn is like this.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Like you would be at that for an hour with a bone saw.
Yeah. Can you?
like-
Can I like just maybe like try to break around just to take it out, rather than just cut through? You can say no. It's fine.
Yeah, like it is a massive skull of solid bone. Dismantling it and breaking it apart is a big job, and you don't really have the tools to make that any easier.
No, I'll just take the fucking head around. It's fine. I'll just go slowly every night. Just start doing it a bit until it comes up. Anyway, I'll get to sleep. Cool.
Our journeys are all going to be like 4 times longer because we're going to be waiting for Ashura going.
I'll just like take a rope and just put it around like that.
It's like, oh, we need to go up a hill now. Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's what the gauntlets of Ogre Powers really. That's why I got them. That's definitely the moment. All right. Okay. Night, people. Sleep.
As Ashura heads back in, Nute, Serato kind of remains nearby. Like she doesn't come sit next to you, but she remains opposite the campfire. Occasionally perking up a bit, almost like a meerkat, extending her long neck up, looking up and across, scanning the nearby area. So you're from Morio. I don't recognize the name Nute. What family?
Of course. Sorry. Nute is a newer. Look, a lot of complicated stuff happened there. My actual name is Shin Sokunin.
Oh. I see. Good.
Does, okay, as a play, it's is that actually oh cool, good, or is it
Sorry, are you asking her that directly? Are you
this is me asking
inciting?
you. So
make an insight check.
Yeah, make that an insight check.
It's that's many. It was 17 on the die. I assume plus 3 or something.
Wow.
Plus 6 is 23.
There's definitely some recognition there, in terms of the name Sukunin. Yeah, with her being oh, good. It doesn't seem like she's lying. It's not oh, that's terrible, but I don't want to say anything. It's just very an odd circumstance, and she seems more genuinely surprised.
Oh no, what's happened?
She's married to your brother. She's married to your brother. That's it.
She's your daughter.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is Hemlock. She's your new mommy.
Hi, Mom. Oh my God, this is
a lot younger than you, but she's your mum.
Yeah.
Weird shit.
All right.
Oh. Yeah. So I've kind of been gone for about
30?
50 years, I think.
Wow.
It's been some time.
Forgive me. I know of your family, and I was aware that one of you had gone on a journey and never come back, but that appears to be incorrect.
Well, it was correct up until now, at least.
You see, as she says that, she takes a moment and her eyes are locked on you. What seems like a fairly aloof kind of dances around a little bit, seems quite relaxed, even though she is kind of still on guard. There is a brief moment where she locks her eyes with you, and even for such a young elf, there is a powerful intellect behind those eyes, and she levels that at you and kind of holds your gaze for a moment. Nods.
Confusingly, because he doesn't know how powerful intellect works.
Yeah, I was gonna say the wrong people have woken up. The wrong people are awake. Damn it.
Right.
Oh.
Well, it'll be good to help get you all home.
I'm gonna have so much catching up to do. I don't know
Probably.
what to explain. Oh, just
Your friend is.
one very quick question.
What?
Is what's his name? The one who's a bit out there. Ken. That's the one.
Ken.
Is he still about?
Yes, Ken comes in occasionally. Yeah.
Oof.
No idea how old he is. I'm from Minodesh, but I moved to Morio fairly recently.
Oh, don't worry about that. No one does.
Okay. He just turns up and acts like everything's fine and then vanishes.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh,
Well.
anyways,
Well, I'm going to go for a little bit of a circuit.
yes, please. I
Alright.
Whoa.
And she
I have some preparing
stands-
to do.
You see her pull her sling out of her kind of side pouch, and a small shard of the crystal, the phase crystals that lie all around you, loads it into the sling, kind of just like swings it absentmindedly as she darts up, kind of onto the rocks and then away, preparing to do a little bit of a sweep. And if you want to go ahead and make a perception check for the last stage of the night, then go
I
ahead.
shall indeed. Hiya! That is a 23.
23, hell yeah! You occasionally, as the rest of this period closes and you begin to feel a little bit more awake, you've had your rest, and you begin to kind of actually get a bit more energized. You do hear the faint kind of like the small insects that heavily populate the Underdark in general. You see occasionally, like on like a small outcropping of rocks a bit further away from you, kind of clustered under one of these phase crystals is actually a big, like almost like a bushel of small shelled creatures, almost like small clams that kind of open up occasionally and close. Open and close. But aside from the small movements of local fauna, the rest of the time passes without issue, and eventually as your comrades begin to wake and stir and emerge from the tent, Sometimes my voice is starting to go. Oh no, I need that. Cerato returns and kind of darts very quietly without a sound, drops down in this kind of alcove, and you can all mark a long rest. And you begin to take down the tent.
We needed that.
Hey.
Oh, we needed
As you
that
all
shit.
begin taking down this tent and getting some food, and you
Oh, yes.
all see this drow woman that is now alongside you.
Oh, hi.
Hello, everyone. I arrived a little bit earlier on. My name is Cerato. I'm from Morio, where Nute is from.
Oh, nice to meet you. Would you like some tea?
I would love some tea, thank you. And
Of
she
course.
stows her sling and takes a seat.
Hydrate.
Hydrate!
Appropriate.
Hydrate with a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
my God.
see you
And
guys
again.
met. And again.
Again?
This
and
was full
as-
when I started the stream.
That's good for you, buddy. That's good for you.
And as always, Marigold will summon a handful of good berries should anyone want them. And she will definitely offer one to Cerato if she wants one too.
Cerato will take one. She seems to recognize the magic that you bring to summon this substance. She's like, yes. And she eagerly takes one. She does, however, also crack out a small bag of small crunchy things.
Crunchy things.
You immediately recognize this Ashura as small fried spiders, which are a very, very common trail snack.
Yes.
Very common trail snack for for all of the military down here.
It's
very
the
high
army
protein.
hardtack. The army hardtack.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like nice like roasted nuts, but they're spiders.
Glass.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you got.
So, Ashura mentioned to me that you were all looking for a way into the plane of Earth. So I came from an outpost a few hours that way, but Moro is down a little bit towards this direction and is
Biggest city.
maybe 6 or so hours away.
That's so close. Huh?
From there, we'll be able to see if any of the other patrols have found anything that might help you on your way. And if there's any respite you might need to take in a slightly more civilized spot from this.
I would kill for a bed.
Yeah.
She like
A bath. Oh god.
sniffs slightly, and
You
kind of,
don't have to.
there's like the slight like tweak at the corner of her eye as she like looks towards Hemlock, who
Yeah.
smells
good.
bad. You guys like
Yeah,
she,
yeah,
got,
yeah.
she got fire hosed by a telewave, but she was inside a Garistro.
Is that
Yeah.
also the case with Nute?
Not in the good way.
No,
Not
yeah,
in the good.
like
That's why. Yeah. The big spoon from last night wasn't really fun.
and I'm like, I'm still like, I'm wearing quite a nice dress that is covered in blood, like
Yeah.
in dried blood.
And in every corner and crevice of every part of clothing and leather and bag and
Yeah.
equipment.
My glasses now have red lenses.
Oh no. Yeah,
got, like-
that's actually cool. That's actually
You've
cool.
got like dried Garistro blood like behind your ears,
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like
yeah.
in your
Yeah.
eyes.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
Hemlock's
Hell yeah.
punk cult of stealth.
Yeah. No, I can't wear them. It
Hemlock
makes
is
everything
just-
way too red.
Hemlock
Actually-
is just slowly
Funny that.
becoming a Nosferatu.
I'm becoming shit.
Talking about glasses, I think Ashura will be coming out of the tent without his sunglasses. Just
Ooh.
This is a comfortable environment for you. And
just bright grey eyes.
yeah, this beautiful fluorescent multicolored lighting reminds you very dearly of home.
Andrew, question. I come out of the tent without any shirt on. I turn around and I ask Markos, is it symmetrical this time?
You
me
already
see.
know that it's not.
Okay,
As
yeah.
you've taken your shirt off, you notice that there is some which comes down like just below your rib cage.
Damn it.
And as you take your shirt off and ask the rest to inspect, it seems to begin like the top of your back and like neck, and it sweeps down in a curve down into like a almost like something like a paintbrush, and went down, and it kind of finishes just above your right hip.
What have I done?
Taking like a look at it from a medical perspective, does this look like a thing that can spread? Like, or is it just something that's, does it look like a rash? Does it just
Yes.
look like I don't know.
Make a
Is
medicine
it
check.
fungus?
A medicine check.
Also, you see the muscular and full of scars back of.
Yeah. A natural 20.
Natural 20. I don't know my throat's going right now. You are fairly confident this does not look like a rash of any kind. The only scar tissue here is like cut scars and scratches and claw marks across Ashura's muscular back, which follow through onto this whiter skin. It is like he has always had this just completely benign, smooth section of pale skin.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be, medically negative for you. You're fine. Like,
Well, I guess it has some. Maybe it has some cachet. I don't know. I'm so sad right now. I'm so sad. As he's putting back his armor and jacket and everything.
Look, Ashura, I'm sure we can maybe get the healer to take a look at it when we...
I
What was
mean,
the name of the city we were going to?
Moira.
so we can get a healer
Yeah,
to look
like,
at.
when you say that, Nute just kind of looks at you like,
What? No, I
You know
mean
what
like
we're talking
someone who
about.
might know about the sort of chaos magic that happens down here.
okay.
That's fair.
But because it's not symmetrical, I will cast major image. No, I'm not. I don't have. Do I even have disguise self? I don't. Because it's so fucking Ashura not to have disguise self, because he's just fucking class. He doesn't need a fucking illusion for that. Anyway.
Ashura, it looks fine. It's eye-catching. It's a conversation point.
It's eye-catching, you say? Like positively eye-catching?
Yeah, in a good way.
That'd be interesting.
Hemlock,
Makes you...
make a persuasion check.
Oh shit.
I'll just go.
You can take this however you want.
Natural 20!
Yeah!
like positive. All right.
It makes you stand out.
I see. I've never seen another that out with like white birthmark. So maybe. Damn, I am a unique Ti'rel.
I mean, Ashura, there are plenty of Eladrin who have similar sort of patches of colouring. It's
I'm
not
not
an
listening
unusual
to you
thing.
right now, Marigold. Okay, I am unique.
I mean,
No.
okay.
Stop it. Yeah.
I mean, Ashura, even if other people have different patterns, perhaps, I can guarantee
Yes.
yours is unique, depending on how
Exactly.
accurately you measure it.
I am completely unique. Yes. Yes.
Come on, let's go. We haven't got all day.
All right. I'm joking, Marigold. I'm joking. Don't make that frown.
Well,
But I
don't
am.
yell at me then.
No, I was wrong.
Oh no, we've upset Mom. We've
I
upset Mom.
pat her on the head. I'm joking. Please don't cry.
Rude. You know,
Don't hit me. Don't hit me, please.
Nute leans down to Marigold like,
someone-
look, if you want to go for another punch, just do it.
I just-
Stop. That was a
Slap
joke.
Ashura on the back. Is this shirt still off?
I was putting it on. So I have like a shirt on, but not everything else yet.
Okay, I'm imagining that you haven't got one shoulder in yet, and I just come up and just slap you slightly too hard on the bare skin and say, "Shall we get the move on?"
Yeah, we should.
Off Marigold.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I pushed it too
someone who
hard.
spends a long
Did you
time
see how
being
she killed
friends
that
with a
demon?
gnome, you really don't know how to treat small people.
No, it's because, to be fair, Maple was great to just piss off. It was really easy to. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Or at least, maybe not today. Tomorrow.
To be honest, I think you winding up Maple might have helped her in combat. She tended to channel a bit of that rage. you know?
Yeah, true that. Yeah, true that. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
Marigold, do you also grow a wolf snout when you get angry?
That's a good question.
No.
She did become a gorilla. So to be fair,
I can become a wolf, but I can't do it individually.
so Maple had like
Yeah, that
like
would be a power.
Please. And sorry,
We're
don't begin.
coming.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Although
so maybe,
when I get angry, I can summon various elementals and fae to beat the shit out of you. So
right. So does that mean that maybe Maple had like a part of the transformation, and Marigold has mastered it? No, just
potentially.
fully turning into a wolf. Well, Maple had just a snout, and when you think about it, not very useful. Right? You kind of need like the claws and the rest.
The teeth are quite sharp.
The teeth were quite sharp. That's true. Yeah. All right.
So, Serato, was it?
Can
Yes.
someone please take this proverbial shovel out of Ashura's hands, please? Fucking
I
hell.
reach over. DM, can I roll a strength check to see if I can dislodge Ashura's foot from his mouth?
It's never coming out.
to
It's
dislodge
never coming out.
from his ass.
Yeah.
Oh. So, Serato.
Yes.
Hello,
love you,
Markos, Astreva. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. He kind of does like a half bow and like
I do it.
keeps moving.
Small salute.
So you're not obviously Ashura and Nute from down here. What's with the rest of you coming all this way? What lies for you in the plane of Earth?
What do you mean? I've been down here my whole life.
My whole life. Huh?
If you'd like to make a deception check, you certainly
No,
can. She definitely
no.
raises an eyebrow towards you. Okay. It's like raises an eyebrow and like cocks a half smile.
I'm just
And-
grinning like an idiot.
She like keeps moving forward for a little longer. It's like, what do you call the people like that? Where you're from? Who
People like
are
what?
just, you know,
Like me?
very no, muscular but thoroughly stupid.
Himbo.
Oh,
That's called a
Attractive.
himbo.
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 Yes.
I hold Nute's hand and I squeeze it.
Nute squeezes it back, oblivious that you're meant like that. The reference that you're doing.
Why, you trying to say I'm attractive? I think you'll find I'm much more intelligent than you give me credit for.
Oh no, it's really nothing. It's completely about someone else, unrelated to this party.
I have a question,
Right,
Andrew.
of course.
Is Ashura?
Yes. Can I see the hierarchy in the army?
Sorry?
Can I see their, like, do they have, like, a way to know...
Like their rank?
Oh, their rank.
Their rank, yeah.
Yes. Their leather armor is fairly simple. They appear to be relatively junior.
Cool. Do I understand? I mean, I'm not in the conversation.
You can overhear. You're pretty...
Cool.
If you
I have
would like to
passive
overhear,
insight.
you probably could if you'd like to. Don't have to.
I mumbled to myself, I'm a fucking lieutenant, you fucking junior. You don't know, you don't want to spend the fucking night in the fucking, jail. I don't know how to call it here, but the
Kids these days.
How old are you? What, 16? Fucking now.
With a passive insight of 17, I know for a fact she was throwing shade at Ashura, right?
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
David, you don't need a fucking insight check for that.
She did.
Markos might have a passive insight of 17. David doesn't.
True.
Yeah, like she was absolutely throwing a bit of shade at Ashura. Did genuinely like kind of there was a slight pause when she'd mentioned like how muscular like he was. But she continues to lead you all through this massive system of caves, and it does become more of a system of tunnels and caves rather than this massive open cavern. You find more regions where it's lush with this almost fungal forest, still not quite as diverse and living as the one above, but still beautiful with soft colors. And as the space becomes more and more enclosed in the tunnels and stuff, it becomes like it's almost like you're going down like a tube that someone has like shoved some fairy lights down, and it kind of illuminates it in this kind of really beautiful, like full way in all these different colors. A wind begins to blow from behind you, still not as hard as it did before, but just kind of enough to keep a bit of like tossing to your hair and a slight kind of fading and waxing and waning glow to the crystals that line in small clusters. The path leads down, and there are many times where a crevasse will open up and she'll lead you down carefully down like a large kind of slit-like slope, which will then open up into another tunnel. Occasionally you cross where the ground drops away, but there are rope ladders and bridges that span these gaps that she leads you to along these ledges to cross these gaps. It seems this area is actually... There is a little bit of civilization here to make passage around these areas a little bit easier. And a few hours continue past in this long journey down. Is there anything you guys would like to say, do, think about while you are on this journey towards Morio?
I want to... Sorry.
You go.
I was just going to say I want to keep an eye on everyone to see if anyone gets any more aesthetic changes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Sure.
I just like to be making small talk with Sarata.
That's fine.
Marcus might not have a rifle, but he's definitely shooting his shot.
He's just excited by new people who seem nice.
It's a 17 perception.
17? Obviously you can't see what's beneath people's clothing. However, but
No.
For what you can see, you don't notice any other changes to people's appearance during these hours of travel or over the night. Sarata is very happy to engage in conversation. It appears after like an hour or so of traveling, she seems to definitely have been on her guard, but after a little bit of time, she lets it down and is very excitable. And like when she has stopped being cautious of, is this some kind of deception, is this some kind of scheme or anything, she gets very interested in where you're from and where the group has been and done, and what you plan to do next, and is very interested also to hear out just what Adian is like and what rifles are, and it very quickly falls into that very, very familiar kind of soldier small talk that you're very familiar with.
I make sure to tell the story of Ashura encountering snow for the first time.
Absolutely. She also has no idea what snow is. So it's like You're telling a joke about something being funny, and you realize the person you're telling it to also doesn't know the thing that was funny about it. So there's an awkward moment where they don't quite get the joke yet.
I'll whisper to Marigold and tell her and ask her if she can minor illusion some snow for us.
Wait a minute, I think I might also have this. And Nute's gonna try and, with Druidcraft, try and just like create a very, very light snowfall.
Oh yeah, can we 3 Druidcraft snow?
Yeah. Make a little snow cloud with our druid craft.
Absolutely, yes. You combining all 3 of you together, casting this kind of slightly enhanced, what would normally have been like almost like a tiny snow globe's worth of falling snow in your hand. You conjure this kind of swirling, almost vortex of snow that falls and gathers on your hands. After a few seconds, gets quite cold and starts to melt and vanishes away as the magic begins to fade. But sort of like her facade of like, right, no, I'm on business now, drops, and she like immediately like jumps around it and is like, wow, and, like, feels it and is
I love her.
Honestly, mood. Like,
I love her.
If it's yellow, do not touch it. Okay, do not touch the yellow snow. This is.
She looks up at you with earnest, wide eyes, which are like. She had like, because you've been like quite serious and squinting, it's been hard to see. But as she looks at you with wide eyes, you see the actual iris is like a lilac purple. But I heard that was like a cuisine thing. They would make it, like they would flavor it and stuff.
I know. I had the exact same thing, right? Like I've heard of it, condensed water and like syrup. But
I think you're talking about snow cones. That people don't tend to do those yellow for that particular reason. It's kind of off-putting.
They're not made of actual snow.
Wait, they're not.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Not generally. It would be a little
can make
unhygienic to just scoop it off the ground.
I suppose. But it's a very understandable mistake to make. And she like nods slightly too patronizingly at Ashura.
Nute's also nodding along, it's like, I totally agree.
I'm also looking at the party and be like, you fuckers, you wearing as much. You didn't try to explain to me. You were just.
Hey, to be fair, I wasn't there. I don't.
To be fair, I just didn't know.
I mean, really, it was all maple, to be honest.
Yes, no, Marigold is off the hook.
I don't know.
You guys, I am disappointed in you. I'm through.
Oh no, Ashura's disappointed in me. However will I carry on my day?
I like to think is that in character?
That's 100% in character.
Yeah.
Nute's very like, oh no. Oh. And he gives you a little nudge, gives you a little like friendly hug.
I will be looking at the back of the party just in case, and he leaves and just walks like at the back and just conjures snow.
Wait,
I was
Snow
gonna say-
familiar or Snow the weather phenomenon?
No, Snow the wolf.
No, I was gonna say, as Ashura's walking at the back, Marigold's just gonna be summoning like piles of snow with Druidcraft in front of him. Like,
Beautiful.
I just hug Snow and say, "You're the only one who understands me."
Aww.
I created you
Ashura's
too.
being
but-
so emo all of a sudden.
Oh.
You can fucking dish it out, but you can't take it.
This is
it?
why you're so vulnerable
you
to
know-
a dragoness.
And he looks back at the group like, did they hear me? I hope they heard me. Oh, I'm so
Ashura,
sorry.
be careful you don't cut yourself on all of that edge.
I mean,
Oh, shut the fuck up. Alright.
okay, Ashura, 2 of the party definitely heard him.
Everybody heard me. Yeah. For sure. I just have
Soto
to
kind of retakes her place near the front, and while guiding you, seems to be very, very familiar with these routes. There are sections where a large gap will be spanned by masses of spider webs, but she'll gather handfuls of abundant moss that seem to gather around certain kinds of crystals and slightly steaming vents, and will throw them across, forming almost a carpet across, and pad across quietly, keeping the webs intact, and guides you down relatively quickly.
I think I'm keeping like a supportive hand on Nute's shoulder for most of this, because this is treacherous terrain to have a limp right now.
Yep.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
And Soto seems like very conscious of that, and often at times you'll see where a faster route might be available down a certain slope, and you'll see like she like does like the first 5 feet. She like just sweeps her own legs into what will be a very slick slide, stops herself, finds a slightly safer, slower route, and then leads the party down that. Make sure everyone can get down there equally safely and comfortably.
Yeah.
And Nute, you begin to, after maybe 5 or so hours, you begin to get a little bit like familiar. You'll go past a tunnel and there'll be a large, like a particularly large mushroom that reaches up with a massive spanning cap with a soft orange glow coming from beneath, occasionally small like drifting, falling, almost like falling autumn leaves, except they're slightly glowing orange spores that just drift down from them in the wind. And you recognize it. You keep traveling and a cavern opens up and you see to one side what almost looks like a forest of those kind of tangled, tree-like, dark brown wood, thick, like wooden stalks of the Zirkwood fungus that grows in massive examples, like the giant kind of spider-like one you saw in the gore like above. These ones form like copses of trees that branches that intermeet and mingle, forming this strange mimicry of like a tangled forest. You get a little bit closer and you feel a slight like increase in the humidity. And occasionally now you see more and more cracks in the rock and slight kind of trickles of steam rising. Small fissures and cracks in the rock with heat vents, occasionally kind of overflowing with hardened minerals of vibrant colors, some of like yellows and molding pinks and blues that surround these entrances, these holes through which this steam rises. A large, one of the larger caverns opens up once more, and you see these kind of Zirkwood groves line the walls. And as you do, you see on the far wall, lit by glowing fungus that grows up and around, and large phase shard crystals, no longer just glowing in clusters, but placed in even, regular positions around this open space. Backed up against the opposite side of this cavern, you see a wall. Rising up in hexagonal pillars, the rock seems to be some kind of strange formation here that rises up at a slight angle from the ground. And in these pillars you see windows, light emanating from them as you see the outer wall of a small town. Within this wall you see higher pillars reach up like towers of a city that rise up, and the back of the cavern kind of rises up behind them, looking over into the ceiling itself. As you see, for almost all of you for the first time, the town of Morio.
Hell yeah.
And
Welcome
because
home, buddy.
all of you fiends keep mashing the hydrate, the DM's going to go to the bathroom again. So
That's fair.
you will keep vibing for a second.
It's gonna say like throughout the walk, Hemlock will be asking Nute questions about Morio, and yeah, we'll be asking little tidbits and all of that jazz.
I think like Nute will answer most as best as he can remember. Because,
Yeah.
Like one thing we will all be aware of is it has been 50 years
Yeah.
since he was last here.
And 2 lives.
And 2 lives.
And 2 lives.
And
So,
2
you know.
hydrates.
And 2
And
hydrates as
two
well.
hydrates.
3 hydrates.
And as when we see the city, Ashura will pat you the shoulder and say, "Welcome home, buddy." You know, it's been a long time.
Finished.
Hey!
Yeah, nice.
Go get more.
Oh,
Yeah, more.
Yeah, what's the name of how do you spell the city?
Mario.
Mario?
Morio.
Like the Mines of Moria, but with an O instead of an A.
Yeah,
Kind of,
basically.
yeah.
My mind immediately went to it's a me, Mario.
It's me. Maggie, acknowledge my feelings. Look at the chat.
I
Roll 20.
have.
No, you
I have typed
not.
in the chat.
Meg does not. Alright, okay, so the number of bad jokes that I make in the Roll20 chat, and I know Meg has seen them, but just no reaction.
I always look, whenever I send a joke, I always look for Maggie. Like, I finish typing, and I go straight on Discord, and I just look on Maggie's face just to wait for the smile.
I love that
If there's no
moment.
smile, it's a bad joke.
I love that moment. Like, you can see them just like, oh, it's the stare
Yeah.
of the kind of like, I know what you did.
Yeah. Every time, I'm just waiting for either Maggie looking at me in my cam and be like, or you, or like just her laughing. And if she doesn't do anything, I'm just like, it wasn't worth her reaction, so it's a bad joke. It wasn't good enough. Yeah.
Cuties.
Well, Morio. DM, have I ever been to Morio?
I think that's up to you.
Cool. I've passed by.
Pass by. Then I think you're
I've
familiar.
been in, but I haven't stayed. It's a city like any other. So.
Yeah, you've interacted with the garrison in like a passing of information kind of basis as you have done wider patrols that kind of crossed into a similar area.
Yeah. Like I've been through it. I've been in and just quickly. Cool. Just reminding myself.
Yeah. As you guys get a little bit further into this chamber, you see from the right-hand side, kind of coming out of one of these these forest-like groves of this zirkwood fungus, a small river flows through, being lit from underneath in soft yellows and greens from different algae within that glows and sends a slight rippling effect to different fungus and rock formations around. It passes straight down and towards, alongside what begins to become what is slightly more clearly a well-worn road. Several intersections, you see roads descend across different areas of the cavern into other gaps in the walls and other tunnels. And alongside this river, it meets up to the main gate itself. And here you begin to see the fortifications of an outpost town. The rock formations and large fungus have been cleared for about 400 to 500 feet away from the wall. Stone fortifications line, like in kind of intervals, there's like places for static cover. You see small trenches and tunnels which descend from behind these pieces of cover, which interlink with each other and also descend further backwards towards the actual walls themselves. This is a place that, while quiet for now, is a place that is built for defense. You notice topping the walls baluster of complex design with 5 armatures, all of them prepared with multiple Durgar standing by. Markos and the people with all of you have stupid passive perception.
Yes.
I don't. I have like 14.
Everyone apart from Marigold, you occasionally notice slight movements, like hanging lanterns behind some of these fortifications shift slightly, or a piece of rubble moves slightly, and you recognize the Kabe, the Durgar kind of garrisons of these places send out very short-range patrols of invisible soldiers to scan the nearby area while making sure they remain undetected, and so they can plan in advance if they do notice them coming close. And very quickly you feel this intense sense of familiarity. This is where you spent so many years of your life. This large open expanse is like, it's the back garden of the city. And even though this is quite a small town, it remains quite clustered within. And so this is where you played. These are the forest groves that you ran in, where you helped your father go and tend to the various groves. The Kabe that roam here are the ones that your other dads taught. And soon enough, you find yourselves approaching the main gate itself. Spotting that Sitaro is with you, the gates open as whoever is manning the top of the walls spots and begins to open them. And you see what looks within to be very similar to, you know, there's really steep coastal towns with like really narrow streets that kind of like creep backwards and forwards and stuff. It's a similar thought. It's a similar kind of aesthetic to that. Small winding like staircase streets wind up and in between these like hexagonal pillars, like a town built into the Giant's Causeway. You see how the different towers of them have windows built into them and have small bridges that cross between above the streets. And you see people. You see gnomes with dark grey skin and dark hair tied back, hustling about carrying baskets. You see elves like Ashura, like Sotoro, with their dark purple and charcoal skin and their silver hair in a variety of fashions and styles. Sometimes you see elves who are bold, who have tattoos across the jaw, almost to emulate beards or goatees. You see dwarves who have long, flowing hair with not a braid in sight. This kind of amalgamation of these very distinct cultures so deeply ingrained into this place. Sotoro kind of pauses once you're kind of into like the first main square. As much of a square as they can be in this relatively cramped space. So, do you want to find some place to stay, or head straight to the barracks and we can find a path for you? What do you plan to do?
I don't know about the rest of you, but we traveled so far yesterday. Even my ranger self is a little worn out. I would like to find somewhere to stay first. That's up to you guys.
I would also think that Nute probably wants to go and find your family, maybe?
Nute is currently just like zoned out and looking around the place. Just like mouth agape.
I'll
just like
probably take that as a yes.
Kind of like standing next to you, just kind of not saying anything, but holding your hand if you want me to, if you let me, and yeah.
He'll give it a little squeeze.
Yeah.
You just squeeze the hand. A very light tap on the shoulder strikes you, Marigold. As you turn, the most ancient of dwarves that you've ever fucking seen. Wizened eyes sunken in wrinkles that seem to go deeper than where the skeleton should be. Robes like you have like sweeping, like sage-like robes. Mask what is a much too gangly frame for a dwarf. The thickness is not there. Individual. He is like a frail old man, and then shrunk some more.
Hello, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering, dear madam, if you might be willing to trade anything.
He pulls out a little kind of pouch and has like a couple like nice coloured rocks. What is quite clearly a similar kind of the types of minerals that surrounded those like heat vents.
So, anything at all? I'm looking in. If you haven't got any food, perhaps some. Your hair's lovely, by the way. If you anything to trade of interest to a silly old fool like me, you know.
Well, if you need food, I do have some of these, and she will have like leftover good berries because the spell summons more than I ever need. So she will like give over the rest of those. You can eat one of those, and it will fill you up for a whole day.
Oh my! That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Please have all of this.
And he like just fills your hands with this rubble. Pulls into the pouch, and there's like just like more just dust. It was like what like the dregs of a pocket that had that rubble in it. And
thank you.
Take hold of your hands, and his hands are like large but like spindly, like large spiders. They like grasp hold of your tiny little gnome hands and like close them around it.
Your kindness will not be forgotten. Thank you. You all have a wonderful day.
And he kind of bows deeply. Okay. He has like very large nose with like centuries old acne scars with like leave like heavy divots in it. Like almost brushes the floor as he bows deeply. Like,
all right, have a lovely time.
And he kind of waddles away.
You too.
And like just before he turns a corner, you see him break into a sprint.
I mean, it's one of those things where I haven't lost anything.
We don't like he thinks we scammed us.
They're just leftover berries. I didn't have to use a spell slot. Also, Marigold is not unhappy about nice rocks.
Exactly.
I'm happy with that.
Cicero just kind of like glances at you, Nute, and like goes,
Oh. Wait, what happened? Sorry, I was, Hi.
Ken.
Ken. Like, you see, as soon as she says that, Nute is immediately just like, yeah.
Well,
Markos, your hand was raised for a moment there.
Yeah, I was going to make a perception check, but I don't want to.
Okay.
I changed my mind.
It's a good reason not to.
Mm-hmm.
Hemlock.
No, I was just gonna just be chatting to Nute and just saying to the others, well, if maybe if you guys can go and find a place, maybe we can stay. Nute, do you maybe want to show me around?
Yeah, that sounds wonderful, amazing. Yeah, I would love to. Just so you all know, just in case he does come back, it's unlikely, but that's Ken. No one understands him.
Well, he gave me some nice rocks.
Yeah, he'll do that. Just he'll usually be polite. Just be kind. Don't ask him about how old he is. Don't ask him where he finds the rocks, and don't ask him why nothing has got him out there yet. Yeah. But other than that, it should be fine.
I'm interested in Ken.
He's just a... Bless him, he's a strange old man that doesn't live in town, he lives out somewhere.
But if he's so old and nothing has, as you say, got him, and he can just appear and... I don't know, he seems like an interesting chap.
Yeah.
Well,
interesting is one way to put it.
If you ever catch him, you'll be the first. Look, if you're looking for somewhere to stay, the place with probably the most rooms for, the most rooms is probably the Wormslayer's Respite. And it's just over there. If you point to one of the tallest of the like hexagonal pillars, maybe 50 or so feet across in this particular hexagonal shape that reaches up. I'll put it in the chat. The Worm
What do you say?
Respite.
Okay, you ready? Worm. All right. Slayer's Respite. Respite.
Same fucking thing.
Respite.
Potato.
Worm slayers. Do you get many dragons down here?
No. I haven't spoken to anyone about the history, but I think the carving outside the door is more of a giant worm.
I should have seen that. I'm sorry, I was not looking.
No, it's fine. If you go there, there'll be rooms and things. So I'll be in the barracks. It's just to the south side of the main gate. So when you're ready, come find me, and we'll have a chat with the captain.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the guide, by the way.
Of course.
Very much appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah. Ashura he's been just containing his tears when he was looking for the crowd, looking at the crowd when they arrived. And he was just mouth open, and he kind of shakes himself. He's like, thank you very much, Serato. We'll be coming to see you soon. I think we'll take the day just to appreciate Mario.
Good. And Ashura, just aside, if there's anything that you've been gone for a little while, if there's anything we can do, just let us know, okay?
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
All right. She gives a neat bow, her little space buttons kind of flop to the front of her head, and she turns on a dime and very quietly pads through the crowd and vanishes.
Nute picks up the dime.
Nice. You can add one dime to inventory.
Yes.
Completely useless in Ivantos, because
You say that now.
American currency.
You
It's
say
gonna,
that
it's
now.
gonna be the Deus Ex Machina. You just watch.
Astreva will crouch down, gets to the ear of Marigold. It's like, I kind of want to ask a question to Ken now. Should we try to find him and ask him a question? I want to know where the apples come from.
I'm just gonna say. I've given you the
You're
warning.
Yeah.
I know. Why don't you ask him questions? Is it because he doesn't like it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So-
Why? What happens when you ask him
Well-
questions? I feel like.
At least, bear in mind, I haven't been here for like 50 years.
That's fair.
But judging by this, he is ancient. I don't know how time passes for him.
It seems pretty old. Yeah, he seems pretty old.
But last I remember, when someone tried to ask him a question
They die.
relating to that kind of vibe, not quite. He's not aggressive. But he just kind of screamed at the top of his lungs and then ran away.
Okay. All right. Maybe not that interesting. More spooky and creepy. Okay.
Like he's fun. When he's not running or screaming, he's lovely.
I don't know. I feel like Ken must have some sort of like enormous amount of secret power or something if he can stay alive for this long.
I feel like I'm with Marigold on this.
Look,
Like is Ken just like an enormously powerful old wizard or something?
look. If you can figure that out, I would love to know.
Oh, I want to know. I want to know.
I want to know. What's so special about
curious
these
about
rocks?
Ken.
Let
I
me
don't
see one
know,
of those
they're-
rocks.
They're pretty.
Like
Yeah, let's all look at the
They are very
rocks.
pretty. Like, you know, like the samples of them that are like broken off pieces of mineral are very pure examples. They're very smooth. Looks like he's polished
This
them
one's
a
yellow.
bit.
I might make a necklace or something. You know, if you like drill through the middle and put them on a rope.
Oh, you need a jeweler. One of my dads is actually very proficient in making
Ooh,
various types of jewelry.
What did you say? I know. Hemlock, you proposed to that Nute shows you around, and I don't want to take away your romantic getaway, but I really want to to see where you lived, Nute. So, do you mind if we all go back you do your romantic getaway when we meet? We can go see your dad. I feel like that
That would be
Tell you
lovely.
what, I will give Hemlock the basic sort of the tour, the walk around. And then before I head back
We'll
to the house, I'll
we'll
come
go
and,
get some rooms.
Yes, I'll come and find you in the inn. We can have some food first as well.
a drink or something.
I'm so excited. I've never been to an underground city before.
Well,
I need to figure
Well,
out
what
how to
about
tell
the
my
mom,
dad that I
Boros?
died twice.
yeah,
I mean, once
that's
is going to be heartbreaking enough, but twice?
I mean,
I mean,
you're back now.
maybe
least we're
a
not
conversation
a
for
robot.
another time. No, maybe like
Anymore.
in 20 years you explain to them, that time I died twice actually. It's kind of like a story you can laugh at a few years from now.
Ashura, I'm worried about you. I feel like you don't know what healthy communication is.
I have
Yeah,
no
sure.
idea.
Like,
what
I
it is.
just sort of openly communicate.
With your parents?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Yes. That's
I mean,
Never has
Ashura-
the word
Ashura
damn
being,
held so much trauma.
weird.
Ashura being the person that like didn't want to tell his parents something so bad that he left his home for a year and a half.
Yeah.
My parents think I'm dead. My parents don't know I'm alive. I'd rather not talk to them.
This is great because 4/5 of our D&D party aren't the ones with edgy backstories. Where they have like trouble with their parents and
Our parents are all lovely.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just me.
I mean, Marigold's dad is dead, but
Like, yeah.
She's
Real.
old though,
She's
like.
old as shit.
Old.
She's
my
old.
mum
She's
is
like
still
300.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
People
like
die,
it's,
like
yeah, like
it's
people
okay.
die.
Yeah, but your dad could have been like even older.
we could have been killed, but like I got
Well, her dad was killed by a hunting accident.
Wait, okay.
Are these conversations as you're heading towards?
Yeah. Sure.
Well, I'm not having this conversation with character.
Yeah, I think we're heading towards the inn, and I guess from there, Newton.
I guess, yeah, I'm going wherever Nute's taking me.
All right.
Yeah.
As they're about to head off from the inn, I'm just gonna like clasp Newt on the shoulder and be like, "Now I know it is a big step introducing your partner to your parents, but I think it'll go fine. Don't worry, man."
Wait, it is?
Have you ever done this before?
I mean, a few times, yeah. It's just kind of normal.
Probably not such a big step now then.
I mean, like, even the first time, it's just kind of... I mean, it's a part of... Like, do you find that awkward? Isn't it just, like, a part of normal people's life? Like, everyone does this, pretty much.
You're very open with your parents.
I mean...
Mine were, maybe a little... judging of my misspent youth.
You
Right,
were a
anyway.
ruffian, I see.
You were a ruffian.
Right, anyway, I'm getting a drink. See you in a bit.
As usual.
I
You'll
love
have
the
to tell me
phrase
all about it.
misspent youth.
As Hemlock and Nute, you guys, you begin this tour. It's not a very long tour, but it is very easy to take your time. And people do occasionally like stop and glance. You try not to linger and be rude, but you can tell people have noticed the fact that a group of non-Hakuri have entered the town. And Morio is not a big town, really at all. You can walk across it in maybe 15 minutes or so. It's quite a compact village built on several tiers with quite tall buildings, which is how they fit the population in. And the tour essentially travels up these winding, steep staircases between these pillars up to the back, where it then fans out onto the actual wall that surrounds the town itself. And it's kind of beautiful. You see the streets themselves, the well-worn steep staircases. You see the lanterns themselves are like little kind of copper cages which have a vial full of shard crystals, with occasionally a little pulse of light would come from a small ring at the base, and then all the crystals brighten, and so you have this kind of very faint kind of blinking and winking quality to the street lights that illuminate this space. When you get to the actual balconies themselves, you have this beautiful view across this soft pastel lit wide open space, and then dots of forest like groves of desert within the different large fungus and things. That's beautiful.
Sounds it.
Like, Neil will sort of sit down for a bit there with Hemlock. Just spends 5-10 minutes just kind of just chilling and taking in the view.
Comfy silence.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And as the rest of you find your way to the Worm Slayer's Respite, that is where we'll end tonight's session, with Hemlock and Nute having a nice little sit and peruse a view, a relaxing silence where they look across Morio itself. It's been a crazy
walk about town together.
I'd say it's our first date, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, I brought you back from death. Like
you did kill him first.
Like,
I
does
killed you.
adventuring not count as like kind of just an elongated date?
You're doing a lot of stuff together.
Elongated, if you will.
Shared experience.
Elongated. Oh fuck you.
Okay,
Thank
Pull
you
out
so
with
much
this shit.
for joining us for today's session.
Hydrate.
Insane.
Oh damn!
I'm out.
Drink your blood. I don't know.
You've hydrated us dry.
I have beer. That doesn't count as
We'll
hydrating,
get
but
cracking on that.
It's the right hydration. It's fine. It's fine. It works
Thank
too.
you so much, everyone that has joined us from being with us so far, who has joined us brand new. Thank you guys so much. Lovely to see you all. The chat's been insane tonight, so thank you so much for being with us and joining in and being part of this with us. We see you, we love you, we appreciate you.
Thanks,
What else we've got going on? closing things, we've got one. Thank you again to our friends of the show over at the Cognitive Merchant. Make great leather dice bags, dice trays, dice cups, LARP gear, leather and vegan leather, accessories and things. They make great stuff, and a lot of people, so go check out thecognitivemerchant.co.uk if that sounds like your thing. 2, the ambient kind of blowing winds and things that we'll be using lots and lots more of in future streams, and today has been provided and permitted by their wonderful creator, Sword Coast Soundscapes, on YouTube and Twitter. They make fantastic soundscapes and ambience for both like book adventures, like whole playlists for D&D book adventures like The Two of Annihilation, Curse of Strahd, Dragon Heist. They also make loads of generic ones for like the different levels of the different hells, which is really, really cool. Plugs and things coming up on this Sunday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Sunday.
Cyberpunk Red begins. Cyber Sunday coming at you with the wonderful group of some of these lovely people alongside Jack, who played Slate at the very beginning of this campaign, Proopy and the rest playing some cool cyberpunky madness. Sunday from 5 p.m. GMT. So if you want some cyberpunk action on your Sunday, go check that out.
Come watch me
On
play
Monday,
a horribly bastardized version of Robin Hood.
it's horrific.
What's his name? What's his name?
His name is Bobbert Hoot.
It's horrific.
You know, guys, there's a few times where I always love Jordan, but there's a few times where I hate him and love him at the same time. Those are the kind of times.
Is this better or worse than the time you played Crazy Frog?
Ooh, that's a
Oh,
good
it's
one.
close. Oh, it's close.
Wait, was it like a grung
Of
bard?
course it was.
Nope, it was a grung wild soul barbarian.
Yeah.
Bonk, bonk.
And his name was
Anyway.
Axel F.
Anyway.
Anyway,
On Monday, Miniac Monday is coming at you with a cute as hell. Wait, is it this Monday or next Monday?
It's
Next
not
Monday.
It's
Next
next
Monday,
Monday,
the 8th.
February 8th.
February 8th, we've got some critter one shot where some of us will be playing. I'll be playing the cute, the sentient fox nitwit. Meg will be playing Willow. Our wonderful Riona playing the frog Lily. Run by wonderful Proopy. So some cute critter action coming at you on February 8th.
The pet episode.
pet episode.
Pet
We
episode.
just need a beach episode now.
We
Yes.
need a beach
Yeah.
OVA. We need OVA
OVA.
episodes.
We should do OVA
Oh
episodes of
my
the Adder
God.
Gang. That would be so
Oh
cute.
shit! Yeah, we should.
Any other plugs for upcoming
Yes.
guest spots and streams and things? Go.
These aren't my guest spots, but they're other people's. Tomorrow, Prue is over on Kilted Cajun's channel doing
That's right.
Tomb of Annihilation. She plays a very adorable Furbolg druid,
Very cute.
and
Furbolg
it's really
cleric.
cute.
Furbolg cleric.
Not druid. And it's very cute and wholesome, and you should go check that out. And then on Tuesdays, on Witch and Craft, there is Warhammer, I believe.
Rogue Trader.
Rogue
is-
Trader, yeah. And Prue is also in that.
Yes. Yeah, keep an eye out on Witch and Craft games in the future as well. For you may
Yes.
see a couple more of us appearing. Perhaps one forever DM finally being able to play.
What?
Ooh.
Perhaps.
What is
Who
this
knows?
blasphemy?
Yeah,
That's the
so-
wrong game, Jordan.
People are doing the guest spotting things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's
Obviously-
fun.
Obviously, if you haven't already, if you want to keep up to date with this stuff and get reminded when stuff's happening, don't forget to come and like us. In Twitter's probably the most active place most of us
Yes.
are in. Or if you want to have access to us all the time, hop in that Discord. Links are in the Twitch chat. So put the links in the Twitch chat.
I have.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
I also would like to shout out our lovely friend Will, who is
Will.
launching his
he was
Twitch
so good
channel next week, I believe,
Yeah,
hell
or
yeah.
early in February. And he's going to be doing a whole bunch of good shit. Go follow him. He's amazing. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Last chance for plugs, spots, bits, things to look out for.
I
Going
think
once,
that's all the plugs.
I love you all.
Love you all. Yeah.
going thrice.
That's
Yeah.
not a
Right.
plug, Jordan. How dare
Let's
you do that?
Do a raid.
Hell yeah.
Would anyone like?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Who's going right now?
Who have we got? Let's have a little look.
Someone
Who
send me
have
a
we got
channel
on the
name and
screen
I'll
right now?
get that raid going.
Okay.
Any of our mates going right
I
now?
don't think
Danny,
so.
wait. Do you want to go to Geek and Sundry?
Hold on. Let's see. Anyone?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Was there an official D&D stream?
Just check the D&D tab.
Yeah. Okay. There's an Italian one. Maybe
Avivo
not.
is doing D&D art commissions. That's art D&D stuff, not directly.
Okay. I've got one. I've got. Okay, Hacky. They've got 12 viewers, so it's great. They've got Hacky282. So I'll write that down in the Twitch thing because that's a complicated name.
Oh,
Right?
just type it in Roll20 on Twitch chat.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'll send you that.
Alright.
It's Hacky. 82.
Perfect.
/range.
Hop in there and tell them who sent you, and you guys have a wonderful rest of the night, wonderful rest of the week, and we will see you guys really soon with much more TTRPG stuff. Thank you so much for being here. We love you, and we'll see you guys soon.
Alrighty.
Bye,
everybody.
Oh my God.
Bye.
Good time.
Zoomus.